the security camera from earlier when we were actually over there before anybody was there. I was just putting shirts in the tote bags with the euta. I'm like, yes.
So guys, today is second day of PMWC 2023.
Yeah, sick, all of that. But as we're going to be heading here towards a match, especially in Miramar, is there one team that you're looking to kickstart off the day with Miramar?
Fourth Thrives. For me, Fourth Thrives has to do it now. Yes, they will have that second chance in the Rondo, but for me, they're tied in 7th and 8th place. They just one good game. They need this. They feed off momentum so much that if they want to survive all 8 matches and still be on top, they have to start now.
I think it's a weird day for Fourth Thrives, honestly, because they love to start on Rondo. They say all the time in the past that Rondo is their best map. Usually they start off on Rondo really strong and then they can transfer that momentum. Starting on Miramar, I don't think that it's the craziest map. I still think they can play it. For me, it's probably S2G. S2G has had a tendency in the past for miracle Miramars.
Yeah, I have to agree with that as well.
Yes.
And plus,
Yes.
Miramar, you get 2 at the start, 2 at the end. So these are like practice Miramars, you know what I'm saying? And then right at the end, that's where you have all playability and energy. Yeah, the repop. Yes.
I'm going to be looking at Ulf Esports because of what they were able to do yesterday, especially on the last game. They were able to get that chicken dinner, get those extra placement points. But if we were to remove that one chicken dinner out of Ulf, you would end up noticing that they would only end up having 1 placement point. And for me, that is the biggest red flag out of these teams when you're not able to just convert only on elims and the placement points start fading away. I know you say that, yes, a team doesn't really need a chicken dinner to be able to win PMWC, but in my eyes, they do need to be consistent at least towards the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, the beige flag right now is Fourth Thrives, right? We're in the middle ground. I mean, the 4 placement points, not great, but it is promising to see this on 21 eliminations. That shows, you know, gusto going to these matches, which I really do like.
Yeah, Fourth Thrives. We saw some of the decisions yesterday. I think that's what it was. Especially the one that I really have to nitpick, Nepturo, with Fourth Thrives has to be when they decided to coexist with Horaa Esports for a little bit too long. I feel like that ended up hurting them in a big way in that match. It would have been one of those things where we usually tend to see them being a little bit more aggressive, making teams back off, but that wasn't the case.
Well, yeah, if you pull into their like elimination average, which is 5.25 at the moment, group stages was only 6.25. They're actually upholding their elimination value. Placement, exactly what you said, Seven. They are taking too long on these fights early on, and they have actually not made it really into that top 10 sort of scenario very much. So if they can just obviously push themselves, just give up the fight a little earlier, guys, and get yourself into that rotation, their eliminations will match, and they will actually do a lot better today.
And as we're seeing there in 16th place, Ida Esports with just 2 points. Those 2 points coming from eliminations. This is a team we're talking about give up the fight, talking about wanting to fight. This is a team that needs to figure out what they actually want to do, because we saw them hot drop with Enigma Galaxy 3 times yesterday, and after the first one, Raouf called him out, which, by the way, Raouf, keep on talking that smack, baby, because when you talk that smack is when we actually start seeing your true potential. You get that little chip on your shoulder. But yeah, for Enigma Galaxy, for Ida especially, they need to just get rid of those hot drops.
Absolutely, dude. You're throwing. I mean, there's no other way to put it, but you are just throwing at that point. Today, though, is great because we don't start on Rondo or Erangel. We just go to Miramar. So hopefully no hot drops there. If there is hot drops,
there are.
May need to have like a stern fatherly conversation with Ida at some point.
There could be a couple here going into Miramar, unless some teams decided to adjust. But enough talking. You guys saw us talk yesterday. You guys saw us talk right now. It's time we get into this games of day 2, PMWC at EWC Finals.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue at EWC here in Paris. This is the second day of PMWC. here in Paris. I'm so excited, buddy. What's happening here?
Our attention now shifts to the teams that have to perform well today because just 8 maps remain until we set the smash score going into Championship Sunday.
Yeah, Bunny, and it's crucial to not fall behind and to stay on the top of these rankings because everything played today as well.
That's right, we've got young contenders, historic rivalries, and legends of the game ready to go toe-to-toe on the Gdynia City grid.
The better player on Worlds meet again for insane games, but which team will seize the opportunity and rise above the rest?
One step closer to $3 million, inching towards the trophy, the status, the glory, and the legacy. And so, it is time to kick off day 2 of the PMWC Finals at the EWC 2026!
Oh, we are so glad to be back. It's time for Miramar to get locked on in. We've been waiting since yesterday to jump into this map. We are going to be treated to that now, and it could not be more important for all of our teams here. They are going to need those points every single time they can get them, and they've got 8 chances today.
That's what it's all about here, to be on top of the leaderboards going into the final day of this tournament tomorrow. That smash point threshold will be set at the end of the day. Normally we start the day off hot in Rondo, but we're going to be starting it off hot in the sandy Miramar Desert. So let's get it going, John. I'm excited for this one.
Oh, absolutely. It is so important for all of these teams to keep their nerve because today is a bit of a marathon, right? With these, with the unexpected 8 games today, you have to have the stamina. You have to be looking for it. It's so much more important than usual. It's kind of easy to disregard. Maybe you think, oh, it's only 2 extra games in the day, but that's another maybe up to 2 hours that you need to keep your mental focus locked in, dialed down, and under control because every single point matters. Every single match can make the difference. Our players know it more than most.
That is right here, folks. $1.7 million on the line here in the finals all by itself. $3 million prize pool total. First place team going to be taking home $500,000. That is exactly what these teams are going to be fighting for here. So like you mentioned, today is definitely a marathon. I'm really interested to see how these teams have prepared for this, how their coaches are going to be kind of hyping them up. I was getting a little bit of a view backstage, and while hearing some of these coaches talk to their teams, like, look, I want consistency. I want to see you guys be able to play the game that got you here in the first place, and that's what we definitely need to see.
What I'm kind of interested in as well is normally you've played the Miramars the previous day. You have all evening, all night to recollect your thoughts about how your Miramar performances went, to be able to re-engage those strategies, anything you noticed, anything you wanted to change. You can really fully brief your team as a coach, as an analyst. Now, they're going to have to do that on the fly. They're going to have to do that faster for specifically Miramar than we've seen for any other map. And so that could be an interesting dynamic to let unfold here in terms of those point scoring when it comes to the end of today and the last 2 matches of it. As we're getting locked in, our players boarding the plane for the first time. Looking ready.
Yeah.
Hopefully Ida don't get too hot with their drops. We know what they like to do, but it's not, as the desk was highlighting there, it is not Erangel. It's not Picardo. Sorry, it's not. It may be Picardo. I hope it's not. It's not Erangel. It's not Rondo. So they have to try and get some points on board.
They need to desperately. Let's get this one started here, folks. You can see the players are excited. I'm hyped. I know y'all guys at home are excited to see some serious PUBG Mobile action. Let's get into it. Plane path going right down the center in a beautiful diagonal. So these teams, no crazy plane paths to start us off here. But I like what you mentioned, you know, we have to look at it for what it is, right? We're playing 2 Miramars today, and then we're going to be finishing with Miramar today. So it's going to be really interesting to see, like, how these teams are going to go into these 2 matches, and it's going to give these coaches a lot of time, right, in between all the other matches to prepare for those final 2. So I'm interested to see how these squads start here and end here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be interesting to compare the differences. We haven't seen them yet. I'm talking in the future now. But compare the differences to the adjustments that we're going to see potentially on Erangel, and then look at what adjustments we may see from the start Miramars to the end Miramars today. But that's a conversation for later on, because we do have to get stuck into the action. Hopefully not super quickly, but stranger things have happened. At the moment, I'm not seeing too much danger on these drops. It looks like teams are fairly extricated from one another. It's a little bit interspersed on the east side here, though. Hot Jukes with Tianba and S2G. However, I don't imagine that's going to be too much of a problem. Grab some vehicles, get back, regroup. The circle up to the north side should help to pull that apart as well. Maybe some danger between Godlike and Orangutan, but yeah, they're far enough afield. I don't think that they're going to get too aggy with it.
Yeah, you can see Enigma Galaxy, they're going to be heading on over to El Pozo. That is normally out the 7th drop, but they are not here in the finals, so they should be able to get looted up pretty quick here. They're going to start off by, of course, securing those vehicles. Super important inside of Miramar. Coops right in the trike. You can see him looking up, being like, trike? Come on, man. Where is my UAS? Where's my Murado? He's going to need to find something else here. Or stuck to doing some little baby looting here. They're going to be finding some buildings. But
they should be alright.
Yeah, they should be plenty. They'll have plenty of time here to get looted up.
Yeah, they're fairly center on this one. They could potentially break out towards some of the areas in Crater Field to send some looting over there. Alula as well, likely to head towards La Cobraria. Maybe try and hold some of the hills, leave an outpost down south. Aurora gets some target practice in. Yep, that bush is gone. That's no points for that, though. Unfortunately, shrubbery does not count towards your elimination total.
Hey, you always gotta check the bush, all right? You never know. You never know. There could be a random player hiding in that one. And you're gonna see QZZ get his Murata, so he's gonna be driving fast down the lane. But yeah, you gotta get the fingers warmed up here.
Ooh, I'm seeing a duo from Aura kind of chasing Quick from Alula up north near La Cobraria. It seems like they wanted to try and get engaged with that fight, but I don't think they've been able to hunt it down. Quick just a little bit too up to his namesake. Hang on a minute, they are back on the road again, and Quick is turning tail, moving back towards the rest of the roster for Alula. In the middle of La Cobraria, they're still hiding out, and he has to dunk it out by the concretes. Now he's holding on the upstairs. Backup needs to come through, but currently no response really being seen from the rest of Alula. They're leaving him kind of high and dry as Jiggle from Aura is going to try and descend on this location too. Finally, they're into the vehicles and they're coming in for the rescue. But will it be too little too late as Quick has to go for the hot swap to the UMP juice?
What a sick shot with that shotgun. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit the mark enough to get a knock. And you can see Sleepy, he ended up going to that other side there because he doesn't have a vest at all. He wanted to be able to at least get something. But because of this fight, now you got the rest of Aula being able to hunt them down. You can also see some of the other members of Aura going to come try and support these three men. Can he hit the shot? No, unfortunately, Rep doesn't get it. It is a 3v3 from this close end, but the fourth is coming, and that off angle. Let's see how this turns out.
I mean, when you have that south side hill under lock and key for No Fear, if he's going to get engaged here into the fight, maybe not, maybe more preoccupied with some loot, they say, you know what, it's fine, we got this under control. They're not pushing, they're being timid. They have lost the player so early, it's not what you want to see. A very aggressive roll down coming through from Horaa in that scenario. Did not want to let Quick get away. I thought maybe they had stopped off a little bit before, but no. They just kept on going, kept hounding that one down. It's worked out here. The question now for me is, as I always talk about with early engagements, how long are you going to spend getting stuck in on this one?
That's the exact question, right? So I like what Aura did, right? They saw a solo player, chase him down, get the secured point. That's fine. I'm starting to wonder what Alula's doing. Yep, because of the fact that they are taking way too long. They are getting caught out, and now here comes Aura on the push. Sky running in with the UMP, looking to get those finishes, and they are on the run. Nasser trying to at least get some angles here. Ooh, hits the crouch in, but it's not going to be good enough. It's Aura to delete the first squad here on day 2 of the finals.
Every player getting their elim. Horaa getting stuck in early on Miramar. 4 eliminations for the team, 1 apiece. Sleepy will get back to his feet, and they can look to re-establish control back down towards Crater Fields. They may need a little bit more loot on side, depending on how much was going through. I think I did spot a Winchester on one of the players for Horaa, so probably looking to get that one replaced. although there will be crates on the players coming through from Alula as well. In the meantime, though, Godlike has managed to capitalize on this opportunity from this northeast side. They've managed to move in and could contest for the crater heels approach.
All right, yeah, you can see these movements coming out really, really quick. Leaderboards you can see right there on the right of your screen here, folks. E-Arena up on top, waiting to see when Godlike's going to wake up. They definitely need to here today. They're sitting in 14th place with 13 points. Let's see if they can do it. There's still plenty of matches here to be played here, folks. I have a big feeling these leaderboards are going to get shaken up big time by the end of the day.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday a little bit, that 18 match sets, generally you can put more stock into your averages performance rather than those big E-Arena 29 limmers kind of coming on through.
Yeah.
Which, even then, didn't serve them too well in a 12-match set, which is absolutely insane. But, yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about getting consistent 6-pointers on the boards is so great for your team. If you can do that, every...
Hello? Hello? हजुर म काममा छु हौ म जबमा छु हौ ल त्यो काम गर्छु हौ म त 6 बजे हो बिदा हो र म त यहाँ 6 बजेतिर हो नि त हो ल
time you get for outside, more drives do it well. A nade over the top, and Coops goes for 3 now against Furia, who took one of their players down, but they are finding out what it feels like to be under the wrath of Coops. Turning his attention out now to the open sand dunes, but not going to quite connect on the first part of the spray down. Look some more.
Ooh, headshot! Oh. Are you kidding me? That is Coops with the 1v4 against Furia.
Beautiful stuff coming on through from Coops. Furia needed to keep that one together. That was not looking tidy. Flash in the meantime have now been dragged down to 1 on the south side as 4 Thrives are going to be the main benefactors of that, getting 3 elims. I think, yeah, they're the team that's taken down all 3 players so far from Flash. Aurora a little bit further afield in those Picado hills to the north side of it. They are not going to contest it just yet. So for 4 Thrives, they now have to move in because we did see a fairly hard east shift on this zone.
Yeah, the eastern shift is going to definitely get these teams moving here pretty quickly. And yeah, 4 Thrives, they are not in the zone just yet. They're right on the south side of San Martin. They're going to be just kind of making sure they get their vehicles going, choosing for the buggy. All right, they're all set up and now going to find a spot in this next zone. As far as teams that are not here yet, you're going to be looking at Nosham Red Force. They are all the way down in Los Leones. They're still in the blue zone here. So they're going to be one of the teams pushing the latest into this circle. They are in 12th place right now with 21 points. But with this zone shift like this, it definitely buys you a lot of time here. So the most important thing is just rotating very carefully, not trying to get shot out of your vehicle. Play things very, very calculated. You can see Tikianba already set up in these buildings near water treatment. And this is where they're going to park themselves for as long as possible.
Oh, yeah. You're just going to hold out for the time being. See if you can hold down on these houses. Just trading shots. Ooh.
Oh!
Crazy's found himself a big green gun.
That's my favorite. The AWM. I want to see some snipes, man. Nothing gets me more excited than seeing a crazy flick headshot to turn the game around. Let's see what Razy can do. He's got the 8x too. Let's see what this replay. Coops, pow, gets the knock on to silence. wins the clutch 1v1 here against Ayala. Look at the terrain usage from Coops here. Just beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I was highlighting before, right? That shotgun bait coming through from Coops, peeking up so quickly and back down, dodging the shells coming through, and again, forcing that weapon swap. He knows that he's going to have the advantage, or at least be on a level playing field if he can do that. The nade on target, yeah, great. Furia just didn't seem to understand how to compete against this high ground position. I'm not too sure what more they could have done there. Maybe just not engaged on that spot to begin with. But yeah, it's a little unfriendly. Next circle comes on through, and that will take us back down towards San Martin on that south side. Keeps the hills to the southwest of water treatment. Hacienda all in play. And teams are going to start to crunch in onto the middle. This roadside to the southwest of water treatment is going to be tricky to navigate, and it looks like Tiamba are going to try and do so, try and keep themselves alive. S2G find out just how tough it can be to move past this location.
Yeah, smart play there from Tiamba. They go ahead and move, and they take this gas station. They realize one of the players from S2G are isolated. Easy point lockdown. That's going to hurt S2G, leaving them with 3. That's an elimination for Tiamba, and a slightly better position as well. So this gas station is pretty solid if the zone shifts away from them. The most important thing, though, is protecting those vehicles. It's very weak to that hill behind them. So they're going to have to put them in some different spots just in case the zone does shift.
I mean, it is that road that they are sat right next to that is so difficult to cross right now for teams out on the northeast side, which is why you're seeing so many teams committing down to this southwest edge, right? To being a little bit more uncomfortable, a little bit too close for comfort, but you don't have that major blockage of trying to get across that open ground, which is going to be difficult for Vitality, unless they can find a big opener, crack the can open with that AWN, land that shot, and try and find that pick. Ooh.
Oh, that's Aurora. A huge one.
Aurora getting spotted. I think 4 Thrives are getting stuck into the fight. 4 Thrives, 4 players alive. Aurora having one of their players flushed away, and now Hazaifa close up into the fight. The bump action for Reefus, trying to hold the door, but the SK-12 has a couple more rounds behind it, and Ziol goes down quickly too. With 4 elims already on the card, Aurora going to be contributing to the points tally for 4 Thrives fairly soon. It looks like Doc goes down. Wow. The big boom through the window, and Aurora ain't got nothing in the face of 4 Thrives, who look to mark the start to their ascendancy.
And the crowd goes wild here in Paris, France. The 4 Thrives fans are chanting their name. This is what they want to see. And this ain't going to get just any squad here, folks. This is against Aurora, who has been crushing it here so far. So that's the 4th place team out. 4 Thrives in 6, now with 6 eliminations, looking really, really strong to start the day.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how you want to kick things off. But remember, as we said before, it is a marathon today. You can't allow yourself to get tired out. I mean, it's excellent when you find those moments, when you find those high octane, high adrenaline moments, but you cannot allow yourself to drop off after that. So I hope that they're going to have their heads screwed on tight so that they can keep their nerve for the rest of the day as well. And there is still much more of this match to play, so they have to get a lot further. And in this position that they are right now, against Nongshan Red Force, I feel like they potentially could have a good time, but they're going to have to shift northwest away from their current location, past San Martin, which is going to contain, I would say 2, I was going to say 2 teams, but it's 1 plus another player, tops the last player alive for Flash. That was dealt with earlier by 4 Thrives themselves.
Yeah, you can see Tops does get away from now 4 Thrives, man. I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to the finals, I'm already feeling a different level of aggression here. Like, these teams are pushing immediately. The second they feel a weakness, they're sending it. Now, here comes Aura. We saw Sky get an elimination in the feed. We're going to keep an eye on this one, though. This is still outside of the circle, just to that bottom right side of San Martin.
Yeah, this is on board with the fight in the northwest now, as Horaa are able to find Salme. They got that flush that they found the knock for earlier. And Godlike, they are now down to 3. S-Power, though, can just regroup over towards the rest of his team, and they should be fine out there. Horaa can look to try and navigate their way forwards. I don't expect another fight between these 2 teams, maybe for the next minute or so. Oh dear.
Oh no, not like this.
That's a real bozo play right there coming through. Yes. That's Max Man's grenade of the day.
he almost got away with it too. You know what I'm saying? But our observer's just too good, right? Had to show the replay real quick, just just in case you missed this, right? That is where it's at. Yeah, so unfortunate for Aurora. And it just goes, and I'm telling you folks, at this level, I mean, we got $500,000 for first place, and it's little mistakes like this that hurt. But we can see Razy with the AWM starting to put in some work.
Shouldering that can opener. Looks to try and split the seams of Tianba's hold on the longhouse, but we know what Tianba can do when they're holding down a longhouse, so we know what Milu can do at least. Vitality want to try and find it. The res comes through. Milu is low HP, but he can get some healing done. Razy is close by. Another stepping forwards, but staying on the rooftops here is bold from QZZ. It may just work, but the nade in response is brutal. And another to follow it up over towards Aching. Now only one player in the longhouse. Milu looking to try and hold it down. With the Molotov burning, it's going to slow it out, but there's the off angle coming through from Axel. Where's the backup coming from Eagle? He's too far away to get involved here. The nade dribbles down the stairs. Might prove to be difficult to get past there. Does go down. And the res is still yet to come through. 3 players now for Vitality on the inside. Nade's cooking. Axel with a long one. Up to the top floor. May just blast them apart, but Eagle, he's just chilling. What is going on?
He's leaving it up to Milu. Say, you got this, bro. Oh, I guess you don't got this. As Axel gets the nade onto him. So that is Tianba just getting picked apart here. And really unfortunate for them. But you know what? Vitality soaking up some good points.
I mean, the Eagle has flown away here. It is not what you want to see. I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. Maybe he wants to keep that forward position, but the rest of your team's dead, mate. You need to do something about that. Vitality were able to run through there. They got a really great opener with that AWM that we were talking about, the can opener on the position. And he was able to keep that momentum rolling with some big nades up to the top of the roof and a couple more positions beside. And Mino looking to stop the run out from Vitality, and they will have to run out with the circle shifting central.
Oh, and Mino's got this on lock. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see a crazy shot here from Vitality to help this team out. I know that there is an AWM somewhere around there. And, oh, nice shots there. They know exactly where he is. They say, oh, you think you have this down? Oh, that headshot, though, said, okay, how about you like some of that? So, oh, that looks like it is Eagle going down. Oh, there's the AWM. Brazy's got it. Said, pick me. I dare you. I dare you to go over that rock. I told you! That is it! Razy taking him out!
Boom! Takes him down from behind the rock. What a pickup coming through from the shot. At the end of the AWM barrel. Beautiful stuff. They baited him into thinking it was a rifle fight as well. Yeah. Little tickle trades, and then he was like, I'm going to win this trade surely. And then he's like, bam! You didn't expect that. Claps back, and immediately now Godlike down to 2 players alive. After losing one earlier to Horaa on that northwest edge. Ooh, Teasy, that's not good news. That's immediately flushed by 4 Thrives on the southeast.
Now we're going to go ahead and see Vitality. That goes to show you, folks, the bolt action could change the game for you. And it works out here. AWM clutching it up. Now you can see the rest of Godlike just going to have to hold those buildings for now. This is inside of the circle. Vitality, they know they have the numbers here, though. So they're like, all right, there's got to be a couple of players of Godlike somewhere. Can't just run into these buildings for free. Just trying to get a little bit of information. And yeah, ooh, doing some little pre-fire shots onto some windows, looking to possibly catch somebody off guard. But here we go into the end game. Stage 5, circle starting to close. And this is an interesting one. I mean, we still have San Martin in play. A lot of open field, though, as well. You can see Aaron getting in some headshots onto So Easy. And now here comes Team Vitality on the push.
They're looking to roll around. 2 players now remain for Godlike. Federales leads the charge into the position. S-Power first to face. Molotov on the window, burns it down. Immediately toasts him. And now S-Power on the inside has more to say. The suppressor on the end of the SK-12 makes it quiet, but it's speaking loud with it. And he looks for more as well. 3 players fall at the feet of S-Power. And he looks for the flushes to keep it going. Manya will not be in this fight just yet as he drops for another flush. And in comes the backup, Manya.
He hit him with the Molotov, and now Razak is down to 1 HP,
and there they go!
S-Power with the 1v4!
Ascendancy coming through for Godlike on the north side. Vitality, they thought they'd taken enough out of them, but no! The gas in the tank. Burning.
Let's get this going. Are you kidding me? Day 2 of the finals starting off hot here. Multiple 1v4s. S-Power at the end of the day yesterday said the domination begins, and now it has begun.
Unleashing that luxurious hair, sweeping it left and right with the shotgun shells ringing out in the ears of his enemies. Vitality have no idea what hit him. Milu, S-Power, these longhouse shotgun plays, I'm telling you, man, there's something special about it. I love to see it. I absolutely adore it. With 5 eliminations now in the game, Godlike looking to keep their march going, but they have to get across some open ground here. E-Arena will be fully aware of what has just occurred on their north side. They should know exactly what has unfolded, and crossing this open ground is going to be difficult. I imagine that it's more likely they may look to sweep to the east, get a little bit more coverage as they may try and approach Ulf or sweep through the remnants of other teams across the map.
Let's see how the rest of this match turns out. It's already been so hot here. Coops had a 1v4 earlier. They're sitting with 4 points on the edge of the circle. Satan, I believe, does have a position. No, I think this is still out of zone, so they're going to have to start pushing up here. Ooh, XCY in the blue, and this one hurts. This is stage 6. This one's going to start chunking you down. So he's going to go ahead and get himself healed up, and yeah, already getting shot. He's like, oh, I thought I was safe. Nope.
You thought. Yeah, you thought. Down he goes on that side. Ulf all too happy to pick up the point there. They're now on to 6 eliminations, and that will hopefully bolster them. Oh, he was going to find the shot onto S-Power as well. I mean, I said I was thinking they were going to wrap east. I didn't say thought it was going to be successful.
Yeah.
It's still a really tricky approach here. And down goes Manya. But they have left an impression on this match. Godlike can hold their heads high on their route out of this game.
It's plays like that that can be the difference, right? I mean, from a big jump in prize pool. So, I mean, Godlike losing players early, still put some good points on the board on the back of that 1v4. Looking on over to Enigma Galaxy, though. What are they going to do? They got their eyes set onto Ida. And it looks like Hoops does get caught, though, on the transition by Sky. But he should be able to get safe here in res. I like the fact that Rauf is starting to throw some util up on top just to buy his teammates some time. And they should be able to get the reset here.
I mean, that was a long-range assist coming through. Horaa on that north side, I think that's at least 300, if not 4, away. And that's a really helpful hand over towards Ida to leave Enigma Galaxy on 2. Ralph now in position to potentially look for the res, suppress the run-outs here with those 2 nades lying in wait. Darkin mollying the corner. That's actually going to help them. The res coming through. So for Ida, they're keeping them on the outside, sure, but they're keeping themselves on the inside as well, which is going to allow Enigma Galaxy to get back to fighting form, and they're in the zone too. E-Arena versus Aura on the north side, though, that looks like it could get nasty soon.
Yeah, I think Ida are just kind of holding him out here because they realize the zone is coming and the edge of this might be outside of it, but let's see how the play ends up reading out. Satan throwing in some nades in there, trying to get that crucial first knock. Rita trying to make some plays. Oh, the off angle here from Ida is going to be huge. Let's see what he can do from that spot.
Could have been huger, but I think he just dropped the nade into the sand dune instead of throwing it over towards the opponents there. Not quite as efficacious as you need it to be. You can see on the picture-in-picture there's fights across the map. Horaa really suffering against E-Arena as Enigma Galaxy still hold the stale over. Ida on the run out now, rolling around the edge. Henry goes down, and there is just a cacophony of shotgun shells blasting them back. A tide of lead sweeps them straight back in the door they ran out from.
I'm so shocked that they ran out like that. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy can do on this push, though. Darkin's up on top. Coops in the front line with the S12K. That's the weapon you want in the CQC. The best close quarters combat gun in the game. Now let's see what Ralph can do. Everybody shotguns out. Oh, nice play there from Ida, catching some little angles there, peppering up the side of Ralph. These guys are level 3 out of their minds, though, right now.
Oh, goodness me. There's the off angle. I think that's E-Arena taking shots across the way. Because, of course, E-Arena did clean up the fight with Horaa just a moment ago as well. Hot Jukes on that northern side. They got some really big openers with a couple of nades on board. And were able to convert.
Oh, the bounce!
What a bank on the nade there from Coops. And now just one player on the top floor. And the shotguns are going to continue to put the pressure down. But there is still a little bit more left to fight. As Enigma Galaxy are taking shots from across the way. They get rid of Ida. But now Ulf step into their shoes. Take down one one Turkish team, another one's here to play.
Hello, Catch is right there waiting for you. Aaron's gonna have to turn around though, throw a smoke down, trying to be able to get up Soulless. Enigma Galaxy though, great start, 8 eliminations so far. Ulf have 9 though. They're looking to put themselves up on the leaderboards here. But hey, E-Arena's gonna have something to say about that. They're gonna go ahead and start throwing some util onto the side of Ulf. Ulf are gonna have to decide where is the biggest threat here, and it's gotta be E-Arena. Scarface, thinking about trying to pick up his teammate, but E-Arena's right there.
Oh man, this position is really annoying for Ulf. If they could have gotten rid of Enigma Galaxy, it would be so much more free and easy for them. They could take control of that whole June all the way out to their west side, but with Coops and Ralph still in action, they are penned in here. Soulless bleeding out, and the Arena can start to establish that chokehold on them.
Oh, vehicle coming on up. Here come the mollies too. Aaron's on fire. Not able to make it happen here. Scarface on the other side is getting peppered as well. He's going to throw some util, but Ulf just getting picked apart. E-Arena.
Big.
Oh, those nades, huge. That's going to pepper up Mormon real good. And then opens up the door for Enigma Galaxy as well.
They're moving across the open ground, and they do fall. Ulf cannot weather the storm again. It's that position from Enigma Galaxy, the prevention of them sweeping out to the west that really came back to bite them here. Tony K layering down some more smoke cover now, and Enigma Galaxy with a 2 versus 4. Well, Coops can do it on his own, right? So what's Ralph even doing here? He's not needed.
Yeah, he's just there for moral support at this point, right? Let's see what he can do. But hey, you know what? You could never count out the IGL. That is Rove. He's already still got that anger built inside him, that fire, all the way from Aaron Gale Pachiki. Looking to apply it here. Coops with the headshots. Gets peppered up a little bit though in the process. The thing is that these guys are out of position big time. It's going to take a miracle for Enigma Galaxy to do it. But we saw one before. We could see it here again for the 3rd time in this game.
That would be pretty insane. That would probably be the most 1v4s we've ever seen in a single match of competitive PUBG Mobile at this level. They've got about a minute before the zone closes fully on that stage 9 zone. And they just have a sliver of it on the edge of that open concrete slab. They are just in, but that's not going to be comfortable.
Oh, look at this flyby right here. I mean, E-Arena doing a 2-2 split. Now, if for some reason Coops can get 2 of these players, now, okay, yeah, Schweppes is going to move on over, play that mid-range. I like that. You know, just better safe than sorry. Use your numbers advantage, use the blue zone, and E-Arena should have this locked down.
Yeah, they're playing this very, very safe. E-Arena looking to try and convert from the top of the tables to a chicken dinner at the start of today. It would be so incredible for them to open that kind of a lead. And again, we've talked about it before, Schweppes, the only player here with a chance to get the 3rd title of PMWC champion. The only player in the world with that opportunity.
Oh, here come E-Arena. They're going to go on the push, where they're going to get aggressive. They take down Coops. It's just Raouf, and that is it. E-Arena get the first chicken dinner here today. They're hyped up. They're excited. And they were on top of the leaderboards here, so that's going to push them even further beyond.
And they played that north side well. They rotated through. They weren't over-aggressive. I liked that regroup off the 2-2 because, as you said, if you get one of those miracle picks, all of a sudden, one of those angles is basically gone because you have to stick that res. You have to try and keep your numbers advantage. Then there's some negotiation that can happen. Regroup is 4. There's nothing that Enigma Galaxy can do. The flex out, I think, was probably okay, but was pretty bold, and I liked it. I liked it towards the end there. For E-Arena, they should be happy to kick things off today with a chicken dinner, but we've seen them do that before. We've seen them do that before in record-breaking fashion. I do not want a repeat of what happened for the rest of that day. They did not keep that pace, and it is, again, that marathon today. So for E-Arena, a brilliant start to push them even further at the top of the tables, and free and clear of a lot of players keeping up to them right now. For the time being, of course, with a lot more matches to play, there's still the capacity to close that gap, but yeah, very, very happy with that opener. It felt controlled as well, in a way that I think that the big rondo that they had didn't quite feel like it was as much their agency, even though they were proactive and they were doing things. This felt like it was much more E-Arena's victory.
Yeah, I mean, the Thai squad coming in so hot here off the rip. They're looking strong. And let's see if they can continue that dominance here in a bit.
guys, it's Barney Banks here. I'm backstage with Njang Smith. He is one of our co-streamers here at PMWC. We're going to have a very quick chat ahead of day 2 of the PMWC finals. Njang, let's talk first and foremost about Paris. How's the experience been here at EWC? PMWC has been absolutely crazy so far. So give us some insight about, what your experience has been like so far.
Jadi gimana perasaan kamu tentunya tentang Paris sendiri dan juga tentang PMWC yang selama ini udah gila banget gitu sudah berjalan.
Terima kasih pertama-tama buat pihak EWC dan PMWC telah menyelenggarakan turnamen ini. Saya sangat mengapresiasi dan berterima kasih karena telah diundang ke sini dan saya sangat senang dan vibes-nya di sini sangat-sangat real, nyata, memang benar-benar keren banget.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for EWC and PMWC for inviting me here. It's been a very surreal experience, and it's a very real experience as well. And it's just gonna goes on and on and on.
It's great to have you here. Now we can see that obviously you are supporting Team Vitality while you're here. The boys from Indonesia are performing really well on the main stage. Tell us a bit about the boys and how they're getting on, and how do you think they're gonna do here at PMWC in the finals?
Tentunya kan kamu di sini datang sebagai pendukung Vitality juga. Gimana pendapatmu tentang tim Vitality yang sudah bertanding di PMWC ini? Terus habis itu juga gimana harapan kamu kepada tim Vitality?
Harapan saya untuk tim Vitality, terakhir Indonesia mengangkat Piala Dunia di 2019. Semoga di 2026 ini bisa kembali mengangkat Piala Dunia kembali. Dan saya mensupport Vitality sangat-sangat dengan keras, dengan antusias yang besar bersama dengan viewer saya di live streaming. Bahkan mereka sudah meramaikan stiker-stiker Bigetron dan Vitality di kolom komentar. Mereka full support buat Vitality hari ini.
Of course, the last time that Indonesia wins the World Cup is back in 2019, and now 2026. I can only hope that they can win it again, and I can only also wish the best for them. I will give them my full support. As of course, also the viewers in the chat and the live stream also they give their full support now, and we will hope for the best for Vitality.
How have the chat been since you've been here? How has the experience been while you've been co-streaming right here with the event going on behind you? What's the chat been like? How has the streaming experience been for you here on the main stage?
Jadi gimana pengalaman kamu tentang live streaming di Paris di EWC ini? Begitu pula juga dengan apa sih vibes chatnya dari selama ini yang bertanding dan juga pengalaman kamu juga live stream di sini?
Pertama-tama mungkin dari peralatannya ya kok, karena peralatannya di sini benar-benar bagus, benar-benar disupport banget. Saya senang banget bisa difasilitasi buat bisa jadi co-stream di sini. Dan untuk viewers di live chat, mereka semua senang karena melihat peralatan yang proper ada di sini.
First of all, I just want to say this is the best equipment I have ever found. This is a full equipment that I never even used myself. So it's just a very surreal experience so far.
Well, Njang, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here at EWC. PMWC has 2 more days of competition, and we can't wait to see you on your co-stream popping off. So thank you so much for joining us in this interview. Enjoy the rest of your experience here. We'll check back in with you on Sunday. Back to you guys.
ไม่ออกติดกูหักหลังสมองนะเอาเลยนะขวาตัวเดียวที่เหลืออีกตัวนึงน่าอยู่ซ้ายก็จอดนะมีตาตัวตัวเดียวตรงนั้นตัวเดียวให้ผมดิไอ้เกิดลึกกันเราเกิดได้คิวป่ะตัวท้ายได้หมดเลย
E-Arena coming in hot, wanting to maintain that first place. And boy, what a start for this team here in day 2, even though we're going to be playing some matches from day 1. Still, E-Arena, this is what we've been wanting to see, especially when you teased us with the 29 eliminations.
Yeah, I was like, we cannot afford to see a flash in the pan kind of performance from E-Arena, but man, they delivered. Now, I will say, the reason why they won is some teams doing some mistakes, right? We'll dive into it a little bit deeper here with Natura, but man, E-Arena putting up the 10 placement points from that chicken dinner, 10 eliminations on top of that. They were already number 1.
Yeah.
And now they're creating a gap.
Yes.
Hey, it seems like this tournament might be the chase after the White Rabbits.
Absolutely. You've got Enigma Galaxy coming in here. They were in 3rd place coming into the first game here, so they've done a bit to extend that gap a little bit more. But you've got Ulf, you've got 4 Thrives. those kinds of teams, they're also bringing some heat to the game here, Lace.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going on about still this first 29 match. Did you guys have eyes yesterday? Arena, have been performing the entire time. This ain't even their first chicken dinner. They have actually had so much progression through every single match. It's been amazing to watch. Yeah, we got to revert back to that, that huge statement they made in the group stages, but their consistency has been king.
Yeah, and for Enigma Galaxy, it's all about that goose, because this man has been performing. He actually baited Furia into rushing him after they were able to eliminate Lord, and Coops was able to handle them all by himself.
He got the revenge he was looking for. I mean, Coops, you know that we were missing him during PMGO Season 1, and he's been putting up the numbers, but look at this. Let's quickly go through that 1v4 scenario. During this entire fight, Coops is on the mountain, uncontested, and this is not a position you should be willing to push. I feel like this is a big fumble from Furia. This is not a fight you should be even willing or even thinking about taking. And Coops here, having the time, going to flush the elimination, denying extra information from Furia. But this grenade, one of the best grenades of the tournament, a Maxman grenade of the day, as he gets that 1v2 and then sprays him down from a distance. He gets the headshot, eliminates the final player. What an insane clutch, but so did S-Power Niptura.
Didn't he just? I mean, I wanted to replay this because look at what he's able to do here. This guy is a machine. The angles, the quick flicks.
Oh!
He's using these angles. He gets that one. He realizes that Razak is coming around, gets that elimination, and then he knows he doesn't have time to heal up, so he throws the Molotov in there, tries to come out, tries to get these angles going, and that is just buys enough time for his teammate to come on in. The Molotov will go forward. It's fantastic.
I gotta say, that Molotov he put to try and clear his backside, that was one of the best Molotov. That is a global level Molotov coming out from his power. He is showing he has what it takes to be up here.
Absolutely. I love what we're seeing from him today.
I love what we're seeing out of him today as well. I love what we were seeing out of Four Thrives in this last match. Four Thrives being very aggressive, especially with being able to chase some of the other teams. Talking about chasing too. We got a chance to see Enigma Galaxy versus Ida towards the end as well. It doesn't matter, Max, and Lace and Aptura, if it's Pachinki, it doesn't matter where it's at. Enigma Galaxy has their number, but when we're talking about some of the other teams, Four Thrives versus Aurora.
Yes.
We gotta mention that because it was so quick and then Doc with them.
We're not going to talk about Aurora. We're not going to talk about it.
I'll talk about Four Thrives though. Look, they had such an immense sort of split hold in the hillside while Aurora was sort of making their rotate, and it was only a matter of time before they were able to do that. And what we were obviously touching on yesterday is their pacing. So obviously when they get that first contention and then following up with the fight, their pacing is back to what we want to see. So it's very, very impressive that they were able to do that. Unfortunately, they did have IQ at the southern side trying to find a position in zone whilst that contention was going on. Nongjin Red Force was sort of running up the eastern side, so they kind of like fell a little bit short there trying to move in because there wasn't much cover for them to sort of progress through that. And I mean, then it was just down to, a little solo, and unfortunately he was found out because Top actually was sitting on top of a building, and that's probably the best spot and the only spot that could have been played.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very, very happy with Four Thrives. T24 especially coming in clutch there. He's back on that long range with the mini. He's back supporting his teammates really, really well. And the whole squad is just looking very, very different from yesterday into today. They're looking very confident. They look like they know what they're doing. They have those final decision-making skills back and at them. And here we see him, 6th place, coming in the clutch here.
That's right, Four Thrives being able to jump up that leaderboard with 33 points, but E-Arena with the win starting to create that gap, Max, and this is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on what kind of gap we're going to be seeing from 1st place to 2nd place and the rest of the teams.
Not really happy with E-Arena, right? Of course, you're looking at the consistency. You remove their 2 chicken dinners, their non-games, like, they're a little bit low on the placement point side of things, but you know what? You can still get 2 chicken dinners over the course of what is that 5 games. That's an insane win ratio. So it kind of takes out of the equation the consistency when you get these big wins. But though, going on to the 2nd page, one team I really want to highlight here, Nick, is Horaa. I feel like this should have been at least bare minimum a podium finish.
Yes.
But the moment E-Arena just slightly started pushing up on the mountain, they crumble and they give the high ground position for free. I think Horaa really threw that game.
They're not the only ones. Ulf did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing here. Hopefully they don't do it again.
Horaa threw that game, but I did like the aggressiveness that we got a chance to see out of Horaa, and I'm hoping that it's going to continue on here. Let's see what's going to be happening on the second Miramar, because it's getting spicy here. Hot juice. John, take it away.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. The aggression is going to be at an all-time high here. We're already seeing multiple 1v4s to start us off here. And I think we're just getting started. A whole bunch of matches left to go. My Jukes next to the legendary John Allen. One game down and a whole bunch more to go.
Oh yeah, we've got our second Miramar today, of which we're going to be treated to 4 Miramars over the course of today. We're going to end on 12 matches played total of our 18-match set. We're going to set that smash boundary. A lot to play for today. And if the arena can continue to perform in the way that they are, that smash boundary is going to be so far away from everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be worth thinking about.
And that is what they're going to be doing. You heard Max say it earlier. Everyone's going to be chasing the white rabbit here in this tournament. You can see the fans are so hyped, excited. Beauty side of things. Pumped up, waiting for them to start making something happen. Unfortunately, they got taken out by Coops in that one. It is what it is. But a bounce back is imminent. That's for sure. First place, $500,000. Second place, $250,000. So a lot of money is on the line here, folks. And let's see which team is going to push themselves and try to catch the arena.
And it's not just about that cold, hard cash. It's about that warm feeling in your heart when you realize you are the new champions here at the PMWC, at the EWC. For 2026, there's no team here to defend that title, right? Alpha 7, don't know where they've gone. They must have gone home or something, you know, so, something like that. Yangon Galacticos also not making it to these finals, but it's time for another team to sit on that throne, to sit atop the rest. Let's get things going.
Yeah, let's see which team it's going to be here. Southern playing path here on this one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're mixing things up for sure. And this is going to be that second Miramar match. So after this one, if it wasn't hot already, we're going to get Toronto, right? That's going to be a crazy change of pace. Top players so far, you can see Milu right there, 3,000 damage. What a day this guy had yesterday, man. Everything considered, this guy is an absolute monster. And let's just see where Tianbo will end up. All these teams, so many big names, so many top squads. Enigma Galaxy, honestly, I really want to give this squad so much props. I mean, to be in second place, considering that these guys dealt with so many hot drops, is pretty insane.
Yeah, over on Erangel, it certainly was the main feature of their early games. Fortunately for them, though, Ida didn't do anything other than just sort of give points to them, it seemed like. So it was kind of only really one map where 4 Thrives actually third-partied it in that hot drop, where Enigma Galaxy didn't actually have a pretty okay start to their Erangels, right? So for me, it's definitely Ida that needs to move today, but we'll be seeing that later on. And they have been able to profit quite nicely. I mean, you get those 4 points right at the start of the match. That's a good profit already.
Yeah.
Right? I was talking about how I want to see consistency across a lot of games, across the whole set, rather than just these big pop-offs once or twice over the course of it. And that's exactly what you want, right? If you're able to get 4 points, it's not unlikely you can get 1 or 2 more, and that is a massive boon to your point-scoring tally. That's what Enigma Galaxy have been able to find.
Yeah, and again, fortunately for them, it works out with the fact that A7's not here. They're taking El Boso, which is one of the highest loot areas, if not the highest, in this map. So they're going to be very, very well kitted. They've made some great plays this tournament so far. And yeah, you know, we were talking about them in Erangel. Ida did feed them, essentially, but you still got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy to win a hot drop and keep everybody up. And they're able to do it time and time again, but E-Arena catching out IQ 4 Thrives. That's a huge loss for them.
Oh, that is nasty. Not a good opener, and a pretty great opener for E-Arena. Put themselves now on 69 points total.
Nice.
And they get a free buggy delivery. What more could you ask for? Unfortunate there for Thrives to be losing a player like that. That's a little bit careless, I think, in my book. Should have been a little bit more aware of the surroundings, but not to be. E-Arena causing problems already this match.
Man, E-Arena making it happen. looking on over to Fourth Thrive saying "Kapkun Krap." That means thank you in Thai.
Oh,
yes, it does. Yes, it does. Very, very happy so far. 69 points on top of leaderboards, and only just beginning. That smash point threshold is going to be where it's at. So if your Arena have just they continue to have such a fortuitous day today, their goal should be to just set that point threshold so dang high that nobody can possibly smash in the final day. Now, so far in the history, we've seen one team smash at an international event. That's going to be Nongshim Red Force, and that was just earlier this year at the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. It was, I believe, Furia that was on top with the most points, but Nongshim Red Force won that final game just by the skin of their teeth, and that automatically made them the champs. So
yeah, I think it was a 1 point. They were 1 point behind the leaders as well, so they needed to win by a smash. It wasn't just a case of winning the game. So a really nice ending for them there, but that fairy tale not really converting over to Paris, unfortunately, for Nongshim Red Force. So at the moment they're in 9th place, still very much doable, but they have got a little bit of a way to go on that one.
Yes, they do. They gotta make sure that they just stay secure in the end game here. Can't afford any slip-ups at all. Gotta be able to make some plays. Man, that 1v4 earlier from S-Power was so dang hype. They're still having a rough day of it so far, though. 13th place. We haven't even reached the halfway point of this tourney, though, so they still got plenty of time to bounce back. But if they want to win this thing, they've already kind of burned through the bad games that they can already afford. They really need to start putting up some good, solid, consistent points here. Because when you see E-Arena on top, that's a major threat. I mean, we've seen this team earlier in this tournament break a PUBG Mobile record for the most points. Again, so silly that they didn't make it into into the finals off of it.
Well,
but they got some little extra, survival cash, I guess.
Yeah, sure. But that's the point, right? It's a huge, massive, incredible game. Wow, brilliant, bright lights and billboards, sure. But then they weren't able to do much after that. So it was a big fall off coming through from the Arena, and to that end, they didn't deserve to make it straight to the grand final through that. So to be able to come through survivals, fantastic. Okay, now they've started to really up that game, keep that momentum going. This is a much better scenario, which is kind of why what I was alluding to before is I prefer this chicken dinner that we just saw from Arena to the one that we saw in Rondo in terms of quality, in terms of an indicator for what we might expect for the rest of this phase.
Yeah, and we got to be honest too. I mean, these guys very luckily made it here into the finals. They were barely able to pass up the Wolves.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to see them barely make it in, at least I think it gives a lot of relief, right? Because for all the Wolves fans out there, they're like, we were so close.
Yeah.
But for E-Arena to actually pop off, it's like, okay, you know what? The team that made it deserved it, right? Like, they're actually doing something here. If they were at the bottom of the leaderboards, it'd be like, kind of a waste. But they're not messing around. I think that the way this tournament fared for them so far was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because they had the record, don't make it. They barely make it here, and I think that really just lit a fire in them to be like, you know what? We got to just play our game. Let's go full-fledged aggro. And that's what's happening, because they are just pushing team after team after team as a full squad and just picking them apart little by little.
A lot of teams will unravel under that kind of pressure. Need to keep your mind thinking forwards. We saw some monumental plays in that last game, so
yeah,
I'm hoping that the nerves aren't going to be too rattled for a couple of our squads. It's going to be difficult, not only on the losing side of those fights, but again on the winning side of those fights, because in those scenarios that adrenaline just hits your system, and it can end up, once it drains out after the end of the game, that can be a real detriment to your performance, and that's when you need to rely on the rest of your team, on the advice of your coach, on the feeling of comfort, hopefully, that you can find with the rest of it, to be able to absorb the impact of falling from that great height.
Yeah, and okay. Well, speaking of height, right? The zone goes all the way up to the tippy top here.
Going back.
Yeah, near Crater Fields, near that Hacienda del Patron area. We just saw this circle not too long ago in the last match. So teams are going to be trying to take a similar spot to what they had here. Arena, like, yeah, why don't we go to that same spot we were at last time? We won from there. We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit further west. It does keep a lot of those Crater Fields areas in, but it is very similar, you're right, in terms of that location. Aurora spotting a player from Furia, but Coops will not stop in just one game. He's going to find shots onto them again. I feel like they should definitely be aware of his location this time around, but losing a player, you know, for Furia, that's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling.
Yeah, that's Miramar for you. It's tough. I mean, you're trying to rotate, and losing players on rotation is a rite of passage here. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but just sometimes there can be that one guy there waiting for you. You can see Godlike getting peppered up from Lost. And all these players just ridiculously good at shooting people out of vehicles. And Jiggle, I heard the crowd pop off. Jiggle ends up taking out quick from Aula.
I mean, they did it last time very early on. This time it's taking them a couple more minutes, but same start to unfold. Horaa managed to transition down towards that south and look to control the really sharp high ground that sits to the east of Crater Fields and overlooks a lot to that south side. So a powerful position for them to hold if they can maintain it. A little crash between Flash over on the east side and Vitality. That very quickly concludes with one casualty. Win trying to get some revenge, but not really connecting as Razak bumbles over the top, but doesn't eat damage either.
There goes Vitality, rotating away. They'll take that elimination and run with it. Federalis driving outside of the zone here, maybe looking for another vehicle. Seems that's what they have their eyes on here. No fear, popping out the buggy though. Going to be putting some pressure onto Aurora. They're on the rotation and they're going to get caught out by Ulf. No fear's going to push up a little bit closer here. Scarface through the nade into the building, catches out top, and that is Aurora getting picked apart here in match number 2.
Only one player now left standing. I do not think Doc is going to get the backup. He is over 500, probably about 700 meters away from them right now in the shadow of Nigma Galaxy on the west side. You just can't move. This is an easy set of flushes coming through. Ulf have got this roadside compound. They've got quite a decent amount of cover. It's Horaa who sit on their northwest across the road, up on that high ground. So for them, for Ulf, I'm feeling like they're fairly safe. This next circle might put more pressure on them, but being as central as they are, it's unlikely.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. They don't pretty much have to move very much at all. And yeah, they don't have to move at all here with this next circle. Vitality, though, over there by water treatment, are going to have to push on in. Nongshim Red Force on the south side are going to have to get into some battles here very, very shortly. And that's just because Nongshim always land on that southern end. So a northern circle like this makes them late to the circle. We'll see what their decision-making is here as Tianba looking to put themselves in a slightly more central position as Sleepy gets a nice knock there on Aaron.
S2G are also pushing in from this northeast side. Aaron down allows Tianba to move in. Eagle and Milu in with the same vehicle, but there's a beautiful spray down. What a response coming through from Solus, holding in the face of the push. QZ wants to try and turn it around, but Solus has more left in the ammunition. Wow! We'll find a third. Looking for now the last player of Tianba. QZ with the M249 is being hunted. Ketch steps into the fight as well to assist his teammate, but there is still more to do. QZ won't go down, but he finally falls, and Solus stands in the face of Tianba. Says not today.
Not today, indeed, as Ulf with a beautiful stiff arm onto Tianba. And you can see the pressure is on. You can see the player catch relieved after that one. What a play from Solus, though, to be able to shut him down.
There you go. Tian bounced out of that compound. It was not to be. I mean, what a lineup there. A little bit wayward on the crash. It felt discoordinated between the two players in the vehicle. Not quite what you want to see from Tianba. I don't want to say lazy. I feel like it was It was being harried by Horaa with the off angles there on the northwest side. S2G were putting pressure on the back of that, and it became a little bit too chaotic. They couldn't quite find their way through it. There was no way that they could navigate that storm, unfortunately. But for Solus, that is a monumental clip farm. Not quite a 1v4, Jukes, but it was pretty damn close.
That's as close to a 1v4 as it gets here, folks. I'm telling you, big plays coming out of here in the finals. Axel getting naded up pretty good, peppered by Al-Ula. This is with the replay here. Solus with these headshots. Taking out that duo. And still finding himself some good movement here. Yeah, as soon as he sees QGZ, comes on out, pops a nade on accident, and gets the knock.
Oh, okay, we're back in with Al-Ula versus Vitality. One over the top, looking for another as well. There are 3 players alive on side for Al-Ula, but there is damage pouring back over towards Vitality as Razy now and Axel have to step into the fight to try and keep this one going. Razak gets shut down though as S2G are flowing out to third party on the north side here. Kamikaze, Solke, both moving into position. Lost is out on a north wide flank too.
And Axel trying to find some high ground here, trying to find an off angle. Razy just forced to just run out in the open, no vehicle to his name. Trying to be able to help out Federalis. Federalis is knocked, and it looks like he will be thirsted here because it's taking a long time. Meanwhile, S2G decided to just back things up. Say, you know what, we don't want none of this zone going down south. Let's prioritize that instead. And Razy is going to start cresting that hill. Can he spot out one of these players of Al-Ula? He sees Rep. When he's going to take that shot? No, does not see a good sight line. Decides to back on up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the team shots to be on. Well, doesn't have a team to take shots with. Is more accurate here for Razy. You need to be 100% sure that you can lock down a knock, or maybe even a flush. Ida getting rolled down by Orangutan there. Nicely done, but there's still a little bit more to do. Ida being devastated yet again. Rita now the last to stand. Aru and Atanki about face for another approach. Rita cooking a nade to try and slow things down, but there's an off angle coming through from Arena, who is stepping up and forcing him over the ridge line into the firing line of Orangutan, who get 4 elims on the game and send Ida packing.
There we go, and that's going to be the 15th place team so far. Starting to turn things up, but here we go. It's the White Rabbits battling it out against 4 Thrives. Turney K getting the flushes. It's all up to Falak, and it ain't going to be good enough. Arena just putting in that work, and they're going to keep their whole team alive.
And back up they get. Nicely done, nicely done. We saw Razy doing a lot of work against Al-Ula. Hang on a minute. This is a solo? A solo against Al-Ula on the north side? Where did that come from? Razy's popping off on the north as a solo.
3 eliminations. Razy putting the points here for Team Vitality. The Indo squad looking good here as they're going to be pushing into this next zone. And we're looking at this next circle as it is just south of Crater Fields. You got OG on that southern end right next to Arena. That battle should happen out any soon. And now you got Enigma Galaxy right next to Nongshim Red Force as well. Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that Mini 14 looking for that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push in, and as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Horaa, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horaa on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike and flushed. So it's only going to be 2 players up for the side of Godlike. OG in the same boat with the duo. Driving around, just trying to get a little bit of intel. Doc is nearby. You got to watch out for that. Meanwhile, Aura from the high ground are trying to catch S2G out on the rotate here. Sleepy is able to put some suppressive fire, keep him away for now. Kamikaze's buggy is smoking, and he's going to get popped out of here by No Fear.
Oh, that is a scary sight, pressing the ridgeline, No Fear. Spiking the heart rate of S2G as they try and make their way in. They did have to make that choice in the end. But moving in, they've managed to get 3 through. And into a position which is at least tenable, but not really super beneficial to their long-term prospects. In the circle though, which is good. Not the same can be said for Nick the Galaxy, E-Arena, Flash, Ulf. These teams going to have to move when the time comes. So a good result, but if they keep getting picked apart with Razy still doing bits, hang on a minute, no, that was over the sky. So Horaa are suffering. This solo Lone Ranger on the North Edge, Vitality, letting us know. Okay, this is the replay of the 1v, I think 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yasser catches him out as he pops out the vehicle. And then, pow, beautiful use of that ridgeline. Razy just picking apart Aula. Those mistakes, man, making it look easy there.
Yeah, that was pretty clean. Swaps out to the bayonet as well for the final moment. I wanted him to run it through there a little bit. That would have been the coolest. But you know what? You're looking pretty cool already. Razy still with a knife fixed at the end of the barrel.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what Razy can do with it. He's going to be holding on to that AUG as well. No fear up on top of the hill, doing a good job of applying that suppressive fire on these teams trying to find a way into this next zone. Oh, Razy soaking up the points as a solo here for Team Vitality.
I mean, since he's been a solo, he's gotten 4 eliminations. He's weakened Horaa's hold on this northern side as well, which I think is a really big factor here. With 4 players, Horaa are basically with 3. That's a different conundrum altogether. Ulf could potentially have an opening road towards them if they don't go down in this spot, because Sleepy has got that angle. But if Sleepy
Vitality को एक ले 4 आदमी तान देगा NS तो फमार बसेछ उ त्यो NGX त मस्त बसेछ EA नि फोमै रहेछ फुल डोमिनेट हान्दिरहेछ यार के भयो फेरि यस्तो
Sleepy has got that angle, but if Sleepy
के भयो यसको नि अड के छ किन अड्के बे
gets not has got that angle, but if Sleepy has got that angle. radar right now. Operative word being right now.
Right now, and yeah, look at this, silence. Gonna have to be silent here, but Razy, he knows something's up. He's waiting for someone to peek that hill, waiting for someone to make the move. But instead, he's just gonna stay very, very quiet here. Uh-oh.
Up they go.
Jiggle, you better watch out. They're coming for you. Silence, driving up the hill little by little.
I think Razy's going to get spotted here. Igor is going to run straight into it potentially. Ooh, maybe not. Darts back a little bit. They're waiting for the peaks. This negotiation on the north side is tense. S2G isolated right now on the southeast side of all of this. Sort of all just playing in the same spot. Looks like they're trying to start to move out now, which I like. I think it's the right decision. And we've got solos from Aurora, solos from Ulf, as well as Orangutan. Atanki may be the first of those to go down, but does take a fair chunk out of loss before he goes out.
Put some damage on the board. S2G looking to clean this up here. They definitely need a win. They're in 12th place. Win will definitely put them in a good position here for the rest of the day. Fudia, the same boat. Let's see who's going to take this chicken dinner, though. Aura rocking a 2-1 split with Jiggle on the absolute high ground here. Don't forget about Doc, though. Aurora all by himself. He's still there. You can see him. He is just holding that spot and starting to soak up some placement points here. Only 6 teams remaining.
The thing for Aurora right now is that they know there's a solo on the north side, which gives them a little minor advantage if there's going to be a third-party fight between them and Furia. Razy's angle might not be known. S2G take a shot from Eren, who is their solo from Ulf. And Eren finds the flush as well. So S2G now down to 2 players. Jukes, there's a lot of solos here, but they aren't without their opportunity.
Yeah, that's for sure. They can win this whole thing if the timing ends up perfect for them. You see, nice shots there from No Fear. Oh, instant confirmation too. MSG's really hurt.
So he's going to throw the pan there.
Yeah,
no.
that would have been nice.
Pulls
Just say, take some of this. How about some of that? Long nade. Not able to get the finish. And it looks like S2G should be able to get the reses here. Does he have a Molotov for another nade? Because I mean, he has the high ground. He might have the arm to get there.
It doesn't look like they're going to go for it. The res likely to be coming through now. For S2G to keep themselves alive as 2 players. It's Razy that I've got my eyes on still. From Vitality, he's gone so far from such a distance. Eren, most likely the next solo to fall. Igor's has flexed out and is very close to Doc for Furia. That could be a dangerous spot if they're caught unawares. Oh, he's hopped out as well. Doc might just be able to get away with a free elim here. There's a nade in his hand. This is not where you want to be for Igor's. If he doesn't hit this pin, if he doesn't get out of the way, this might just be a free knock, but he's into the vehicle again. And I think he's read into it. He's up into the wall now. Doc has to hold his little shack out in the open.
Silence and Furia just waiting for this fight to happen. These guys are going to wait up to the last second here. The zone is closing. Okay, Jiggle backing things up. No! And he goes right into Razy. Gonna have to make a play. Great headshots, but Sleepy, great teamwork there to be able to shut him down.
It felt like that was the opportunity there. Jiggle stalling on the buggy slip, but just didn't quite finish off that spray. And the backup from Horaa, of course they did know he was there. As I was saying earlier, after losing a player to him was good news. Oh, another solo goes down. That will be the final solo out. So we are playing 3v3v2 as Furia in with a chance here to put that chicken dinner on the board. Same story for all 3 of our teams. I feel like S2G are the most suppressed in their area right now.
Yeah, but they're they're suppressed on the leaderboards too, right? So literally all these teams desperately need this game. Gonna be big points regardless. You can see right now, 8th place, 11th place, 12th place. It's gonna help them out big time. See what No Fear can do with that high ground. This is stage 8, folks. The zone will be closing into nothing. Once that zone pops, Sleepy applying that pressure on S2G. He's got the intel now, knows exactly where they're at. He's got a couple nades. Gonna go ahead and use that high ground to try and get the shots. But some big shots on the Aura. That's No Fear eliminated. That angle being gone is critical.
A really nice pick up there over onto the high ground, as well as Jiggle going down. Leaves Horaa now just on the one player alive. Furia want to regroup, and the descent comes through from the last remaining player for Horaa, Sleepy, who has broadside on Lost, but he's not taking the shots just yet. I think Lost spotted him just before he ducked behind the ridge. And he has to drop down a little bit further to be a bit safer. Spots Lost, gets a headshot, but doesn't quite get that full-blown knock just yet. And then they roll.
Sleepy
Finds the other though. He finds his teammate, and maybe a 1 versus 2. But Furia now sat with their players rolling across the open zone, and Sleepy finds another. 3 players now left for him to deal with. But there's a P90 outside. He's behind those trees. I don't think it's gonna work. No siree. Brazil able to find the chicken dinner here, and Furia fight back.
It's about time. We knew that chicken dinner was only gonna take a little while, and it happened to be just 2 matches here into day number 2. So Furia get the win, and the crowd is pumped up for their team here. A huge, huge win for the side of Brazil.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. I think it was 9 elims towards the end, something in that region. It's a massive jump for them, as we talked about on these longer game sets. 18 matches, a game like that can really give you the foundation that you need to jump up to be in contest. With E-Arena going down fairly early, with Enigma Galaxy going down fairly early, a couple of elims on side for these teams, but that is going to put a dent in the gap, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. Keeping that mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is 1 step closer to the title.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is right there. Nice play though from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G, gets a couple more points on the board and some extra placement points as well. But you know what? The board is gonna be the leaderboard gonna be balanced out a little bit right now, because like you mentioned, top teams go out, teams and well.
Mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is 1 step closer to the title.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is right there. Nice play though from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G, gets a couple. You know what?
Seen what was at least 1v3, a couple more. Why not throw them in there? It's basically just what happens at this stage. But yeah, I mean, the Razy solo 1v3 on the north side there, beautiful. The impact he had also cannot be ignored. If 4 players were alive for Horaa in those final circles, I think they win that.
Yeah.
Without Razy having that impact, it completely changes the dynamic. It allows Furia to be so much more free and easy on that western side. The suppressive force of Horaa on that north edge is so much assuaged. So I think that is a very, very important part of that last game that maybe flew under the radar for a couple people.
Yeah, you got to be hyped up for Razy. 1v3, then finish it with a 1v2, and you guys got a 1v1 and watch the rest of these matches coming up in just a bit.
This ain't no regular thing, came for the breed, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Chasing the sunrise, boots hit the ground, hear the battle call. Loot up, lock in, we're ready for it all. Every street, every door, searching for a little more. One squad, one dream, nothing's ever what it seems. The circle's closing in, can you feel it on your skin? Heartbeat like the drum, the final fight has come. Fight till you make it, never gonna break it. Stand your ground and take it, right into the fire. Fight till you make it, every move can change it. Higher and higher, we're reaching for the winner with our chicken dinner. Fight till you make it, fight till you make it.
What's happening, everybody? Jackie Powers here, joined by 2 absolute legends of the Sidemen. We got Ethan and Toby in the building, just arrived in France. You enjoying your time at PMWC here at EWC, boys?
Absolutely. It's my 3rd year on the trot coming to this, so yeah, really excited to see what today's got on offer. First time here in France, I'm actually really excited.
What, just generally?
No, not generally, for this in France. Normally it's like in Saudi, but here in France, it's exciting.
You enjoying it though? Getting on with the vibes? A bit different, right?
Yeah, we got in early on the train this morning, so took a little bit of waking up, but I think we're into the swing of things now.
You always look fresh. Both you do. You've come out giving it. You got the style on the go, so I can't complain, boys. But there you go.
You're showing us up. Yeah, can we get a fit check, please? Fit check.
Great. You look unreal. The turtleneck, it looks amazing. The watch strap, look.
Wow. That's what we do. That's what we do at PUBG Mobile. We've got a bit of a different vibe on the go. I know you love a bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, but you've been enjoying the chicken dinners? Caught any of the glimpses of
I haven't
games?
caught any glimpses just yet, but they're going crazy as we speak. We've got a little glimpse of a screen up there, and I can't wait to watch some of it.
It's going to be big. I think we've had a lot of interaction from the fans this event, which has been cool. A lot of different nations. It's been super loud. We've had drummers. We've had like cymbals. Mate, I've seen instruments I've never seen before.
I thought it was a football game. I heard it. It was crazy. I can't believe there's drums at an esports event.
It's unreal.
They've kind of been getting sick with it too. One of our commentator talent basically used to be a drummer. So he's been sat there every game, mate. He's watching in the background. I just want to get involved. I want to teach him a new
He's loving it. He's loving it.
You any good on the instruments yourself, pal?
Me, no. So Jizzle, however, he has an own producer back in his day, you know.
I dabble.
Hey, we got to get you in there. We could cook something spicy up with the fans, right?
No. It's been a long time.
EWC anthem? Come on.
I don't quite have the same rhythm as I used.
Huff. Percent छैन त्यो झाँदेको भए हरि हुन्थ्यो क्या ड्यामेजै धेरै हान्ने के एसटिभीलाई जसले पनि पेले रहेछ Horaa प्लेसमेन्ट मात्रै होइन चार्ज के भन्नु रोन्डो आयो अब रोन्डोमा त हान्नु मेरो मात्र हामीले
them, especially going into Rondo. We have seen E-Arena put up 29 eliminations. Can anybody get even close? We saw the aggressiveness out of Furia with the third parties too, but we got to talk about Enigma Galaxy been performing well as well. And what I really enjoy about Enigma Galaxy so far is the way that they've been getting those placement points outside of their win. You can see them being able to be consistent.
Exactly. They've got 14 placement points outside of that win, so they are really making sure they hit that podium time and time again, backing it up with eliminations. And again, this is something that I saw yesterday from Enigma Galaxy, is their timing is on point. Coops is back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good, the synergy is very good, they're holding, they're waiting, they're making other teams play for them instead of doing all the dirty work themselves. It's a really, really nice control play that we're seeing from Enigma, and it's working out. They're doing all the dirty work good, they're rallying around that. So the timing back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So
what vehicle? Let's wedge Tiamba up against that and able to sort of decimate that entire squad. Obviously the rest of the team sort of joined in that position, but look, they're making split decisions quickly when that moment comes. Is it bad that these decisions have to be made incredibly quickly because they didn't plan it out beforehand? A little bit, but look, they can capitalize on it.
It is. One team that I'm going to be looking to hopefully capitalize here in Rondo as well when we're talking about eliminations is going to be none other than Tiamba. Tiamba has been quite slow today. We've seen them just going down that ranking, and it's a team that needs to be able to bounce back because guess what? Yesterday, it was all about eliminations. Yes, they do end up having some placement points, but it wasn't of the likes that we know they're capable, especially with what we saw to Survival.
Yeah, Milu and QZZ have looked fantastic throughout the entire tournament, right? And Milu really rose to the occasion after QZZ was able to get that MVP title on previous internationals. I do think that, yeah, it's been a bit of a slow start for them, but regardless of that fact, there's definitely an opportunity for them to get back to fragging power, fragging potential that we've seen from them in the past.
I'm just looking at Coops right now. He's locked in. Raouf just going around, circling his chair. Satan as well. But Coops, it's all about Coops right now. Hopefully somebody else will be able to step it up from that team as we're going to be going into Rondo. So Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away. What is Satan looking at?
Here we go. We're headed into Rondo, the match to put some massive points on the board. As if Miramar wasn't crazy enough already, it's about to get even crazier.
Maybe it's just something about the start of the day, Jukes. Maybe it wasn't Rondo all along. It was just the first games. Maybe this will be the calmest Rondo we've ever seen.
They brought that Rondo energy off the rip, right?
Yeah, they're used to it. Fresh off the breakfast, ready to find their dinner. And that is what we're going to be looking to find here for one of our teams. It will be the case. Maybe a massive early game. We saw it from Milu yesterday. Huge. And the rest of Tiamba as well. Huge, huge start to the day yesterday. Not quite as powerful in the game so far today. So hopefully for Tiamba, they can find that resurgence here. And if you're an Arena fan, you're hoping that they can continue to make their strides forwards and keep that White Rabbit chase going.
Gotta be able to separate yourself from the rest of this lobby, and if you're gonna do it anywhere, it's Rondo, that's for sure. I mean, we've seen a 39-point game in this tournament. Oh man, will that turn things around from. Look at team vitality though, averaging, 4.33 elims per game, 1,000 damage. It's a great average here. The thing is if you want to win that $500,000 at first place, become the champions, you got to do something special consistently. So I'm interested to see, right, how these teams are going to fare now that we're playing Rondo for the third match of the day, right? Are they going to be able to keep that aggression up throughout the entire day here? And who's going to be the kings of Neox Factory?
Oh, could be. Or, indeed, somewhere else. Playing Path decides. So we don't want to be going to Neox Factory. In general, when you're talking about podium competitors, you're talking about teams who are looking to get about 10 points average. 10 to 12 points average tends to be where we see at the end of these game sets a first place tight scoreline being. That generally is a great indicator that you're performing at the level that's needed to rise above the rest. So hopefully our teams will be able to keep that on side. And being able to get, as we were seeing, sort of mid-4 elims average, being able to complement that with placement points is very, very important. There are a couple, I think, of teams who have a distinctly higher average on those elims than others, but it is definitely something you need to be focusing on to join up at that 10-point average. Because right now, I think quite a lot of our teams are falling short of that metric.
That's a fact here. And if you want to be able to get in that metric, though, this is the place to do it. You can see these players are locked in, they're focused. They understand what's at stake here, just how important Rondo is for your total tally. You only play it 3 times in this whole finals here. And this being the second one. 6.3. Yeah, 6.3 average from Tianba, man. This squad have been really, really consistent here. A night and day difference from their group stage performance. And this is the Tianba that we know and love. We expected them to do very, very well here. And it's only a matter of time. I think they get that right position going, and then we see them get that chicken dinner.
I mean, we want that survival stage, Tianba, right?
Yeah.
To be able to jump up and compete with the very, very best. Furia, fresh off of their chicken dinner, their numbers don't quite display that sort of a storyline just yet, but it is a great start for them to be able to add that one to their tally. And again, it's a real great mental boom to these teams to be able to find a high-scoring game and to be able to close out that game. Sure, maybe the point swing isn't huge depending on how many seconds into those final circles you lost, but I feel like there is nothing more relieving than finding that chicken dinner, than converting it. Even if you ignore the 4 extra points you get just on placements alone, is a massive mental fortitude booster, and you need to keep your head on straight because you are going to get into something crazy very early on. I know it, I love it, it's Rondo and it's ready.
It's ready, these players are hyped up, they're ready to go. I hope y'all guys at home are ready as well, because man, this is just getting started. As the plane is taking off, we're headed to Rondo. Ooh. Okay, we got a little double plane path action here.
Okay, so Neox Factory is accessible from the easternmost plane path, and to be fair, from the west one, but it's unlikely you want to go there because the teams in the east plane will hit the ground so much faster than you. It's much more likely if you're going to hot drop, you go to Yulin, and the same is true vice versa, right? Yulin is further along that plane path. What this is going to do is split these hot drops up. It's going to make them slightly less chaotic, Jukes, but more teams may want to go for them because of that.
Yeah, and those teams that normally like to go to Neox Factory, if you're in that other plane, you're going to be there late, so that's going to put you so far behind. So teams are going to have to adapt on the fly, switch drop locations, and make these decisions very, very quickly here. And you can see, these squads are out. Top players right now. Scarface from Ulp, okay, 16 eliminations. Mormon right behind him, and of course, Milu right there as well.
Yeah, Scarface on those damage numbers as well, right on the heels of Milu. Look at that, only 20 damage points behind. We'll see if that changes very quickly into this match because teams are now starting to touch down in towards Neox Factory. They'll be grabbing those weapons. Yulin also will now be occupied, and things are going to get hairy quite quickly. There's Irina already taking a knock. Tianba as well have already lost one. Irina, by the way, generally preferring to drop out near stadium, but the plane path they're on didn't assist with that. We saw them hunting down solos in other matches, those solo outposts that are near those recall towers, which are a major feature in Rondo. They were the team to take that dynamically to that fight in a way that we haven't seen from many others. Oh no, S-Power goes down to a guard.
Not good. Schwepp's hurt. They're going to get caught by a beautiful angle from a cop. And that's what happens is that if you're just so used to dropping in one particular area, switching it up here, sometimes those little angles can catch you off guard. And OG putting in the work here. Gonna be keeping an eye there on the side of Bull, who does see Aaron. Now we're gonna switch on over to another fight. Here goes Horaa. Applying that pressure to Aura. Sky bandaging here. Waiting to be able to find those angles. He's got some good weapons here, but Ayala gets caught.
A nade forces Sky to reposition away from the corner. Does take a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. Remember, the recall towers here in Rondo allow teams to get their players back up and alive, so early fights are the norm. Silence rolling around the edge of this corner, trying to suppress Sleepy, but the UMP in hand gives him a little bit of confidence and the nade to back it up. Flings across his sightlines. No Fear does go down on a trade, and now Ayala's looking to break wide to change the tune of this fight, and looks for more with Chief at his back. Sky on a sliver of HP just about finds the retreat, but there's a re-engage around the corner.
Chief would have had that, but he ran out of ammunition. Now he's going to have to make a play. Ayala there with the assist, and great work for the side of Furia. They're going to go ahead and take out Aura, put some early points on the board, and they should be able to pick up Silence here. Now they're going to start laser focusing towards the side of Four Thrives. Four Thrives creeping in on this one. A little late to this third party, and now they're going to have to battle a pretty kitted and well set up Furia.
Four Thrives, they've got some loot on side as well, though not too many nades. In fact, no nades for T24. Neox Factory's been popping off as well. I think Ulf bore the brunt of a lot of damage pouring on their way. You see some elims coming through from Orangutan. Doing bits, but ooh, okay. Ulf may have a little bit of vengeance here, as Aaron is still in the firefight. Tianba with their position on the south edge. Spot Tizzy sending away, but Tizzy wants to re-engage on the door frame. It's not going to work out well for the first spray, but suppresses the angle. QCZ with the nade cooking. Drops around the corner, but Hyunbin evades the damage.
Motion Red for super aggression here. Looking to get some of them early eliminations. Hyunbin with a laydown, wide out in the open! Catches QZZ with the spray. Just keeps that suppressive fire on that window, catches him on the re-peek, and a great turnaround there. Two superstars battling it out. Now Tizzy, oh, look at that instant peek back. These angles, Nongshan Red Force so good at these CQC angles, man, and Hyunbin putting in the work, forcing Tianba to have to do a full res on their team.
Getting those flushes nice and quickly. Nongshan Red Force with 2 elims. They're up to 4 now. But they've got another team to try and deal with. Orangutan sidling on into the fight. Tizzy using the bus's cover. There's a nade from a tanky, but the pin goes back in. And Aaron, the solo left in the situation for Ulf, is going to find the backlines for Orangutan and slow their approach towards this Nongshim outpost. The 2 players they've got there can just live a little bit longer, but a tanky keeps the pressure up, and Orangutan keep marching.
Man, great movement from the side of Tizzy and Hyunbin. They are outplaying so many of these players here. So good at this urban fighting. Their peaks, their timing, just impeccable. Wizgod, though, with that nade, looks good. Tizzy jumps away and gets peppered only a little bit. Pulls the pin again. And you can see they're utilizing those doors so well. But how about that nade? That one looks good.
Ooh.
Tizzy jumps away from it once again. He's not falling for that one.
I like the attempted utilization of the smoke to stop the vision on the nade arc as it was coming on through. But Tizzy read that one nicely. Knew exactly what they were going for. That nade doesn't connect either. Still has a couple more. The shotgun around the corner. Steps in for it. Wins the trade. And immediately Aaron snaffles that point away for Ulf. He's up to 3 elims there on the inside. This guy's doing bits. The rest of Ulf are happy to hang out near Danqing on that south side and let Aaron roar over in Neox Factory, because it still has yet to conclude. Aurora, I think, still have a solo in that spot as well. And Aaron does finally go down to Godlike, who have rolled up into the fight in Neox Factory. A late approach as they were forced away over towards main round.
Now you can see T24 trying to find some angles here. Zypha, ooh, quick shotgun here. He's got the right hand priority. He should win this. He does. Catches Ayala. And now, shots happening back and forth all over the place here. But Zypha's gonna have to make another play, but suppressive fire, was that IQ? Yeah, IQ on the other angle, doing a great job of applying that pressure, that headshot. It's gonna be the end of Furia.
Furia, though, well, in this location.
That's correct, yes.
Igor's on that south side, very far away from Yulin right now, means that they can get that full reset. The recall towers are still available, and at the moment, only one player is completely down. I think that's about to change as well, as Admino gets back to his feet. Aurora with top. The man on the spot only needs the one shot to take down Salme, and now he wants more. S-Power with the nade, can't quite connect on towards top, but he spots him running up, has the nade cooking. This could be perfect, needs it over the top, a lot of damage, and the spray to convert. That is good for Godlike.
Great work from S-Power there, right? Just staying calm, collected. He had that nade locked and loaded, just goes, chunks it, and just uses his weapon to take down top. So we're going to see some recall action happening. Everybody pretty much back up for the most part. Only a few players still eliminated. And now, you know what? Why don't you guys do us a favor? Get in game and go ahead and pop some of the lucky spins right now. Hopefully you can get one of those exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament sets. So you can be styled and looking good like a lot of these players are. Let's see how S-Power is going to look though in this 1v1 against a Tinky. It is India on India action here. As that Molotov, oh yeah, he's like, all right, I'll hold the stairs for a little longer.
Hot footing it away from that, doesn't take a tickle, which is good result. Hard southeast shift on this next circle. Pushes us down towards the southeast side. Keeps that northern area above Hungshan in the west of Danqing as well. Ulf, very happy about this. I think their hill there is probably going to play quite well for them, I think, Dukes, and that is a great result for them, given that they're in third place right now. Arena in first place. They haven't had an impact on this game so far. They were pushed away very, very quickly. There's that power. Holds the corner, but yeah, there's a third-party angle. Well, a second player on the opposing team angle coming on through. That should be, again, still recallable. Manya may opt to go for the recall on the forward position so that he can bolster that and let the back two from Godlike move in behind him.
Yeah, S-Power's like, 1v1 me, bro. And they're like, nah, not today. There's money on the line here. We got to make this happen. Now looking on over the rest of the fight, though, we got Vitality end up holding a building here. They're going to be popping some shots on over to Enigma Galaxy. Satan trying to drive away, trying to be able to survive here. Lowered in the same position. Enigma Galaxy on the bold rotation. And Satan does end up getting caught and eliminated.
Very messy now on the western side of this circle. A lot of teams forced into a fight that is unfavorable for a rotation that leaves them exposed. We're seeing the results of that now. The recall tower on the south side of the circle currently under control of Nongshim Red Force. Looks like Godlike may have their forward position on one recall as well, I believe. So they could look for that. Actually, it might be Arena who have got control of it out on the east side. In the meantime, 4 Thrives, with their 3 elims so far, have a position near Yulin.
You can see these teams just starting to get set up here, getting ready for that late game. This is so critical. This is the map to put some points on the board. OG have 5 eliminations. Aurora have 5 as well. So a great start for a few of these teams. Now it's about how you're going to end. I think the Galaxy down Satan on that rotate. They do end up finding a spot in this next zone. Pretty central one too, just a little bit on the southern side of it. But we never know where this next circle is going to go.
I mean, Ulf really have got a brilliant position here. They've had a while to establish it as well. On the hilltop that they have so much control over the surrounding area. They have vision every single direction. Everybody else just trying to play in their shadow at the moment. Arena managed to push in from the east side. The 4 Thrives continuing their hold on the southeast point of Yulin. Doing a little bit against Al-Ula. Godlike suffering once more at the hands of Orangutan. And the Arena actually pushing up to try and third party split that fight on the north edge and maybe hound down Godlike.
Godlike trying to hold on here. Southern shift. Yeah, indeed for a lot of these teams. S2G, 4th Rise, E-Arena, not liking that one. Now there's Godlike. But Fudia, they'll take that all day long. Possibly even looking for a back-to-back chicken dinner here. As Aurora, though, that's going to be the team they're going to have to fight because Aurora's going to be pressing into that hard shift side location. Tianba, QZZ knocked. Doing a great job of being able to throw down those smokes very, very quickly here to try to pick up their superstar player. Hoops trying to catch some shots into those smokes. They can go ahead and just hold on to that coverage for just a little while longer.
Just a moment longer. Right now, I think that, yeah, we've only seen 3 players really fully confirmed to not be really in with much chance of moving forwards. A lot of recalls coming on through, almost everyone in the lobby getting back to their feet. Damage going over towards S2G from Coop, but not quite fully connecting.
He's locked in today, man. I mean, those shots were on point. He was hitting them for the little slight angle that he had. He was getting serious value. You know, Tianba's locked in as well. They're just trying to get themselves in a good, solid position. They're in 4th place, 48 points. Not a bad start. But E-Arena with 75, they're the big threat in this lobby. The Thai squad looking really solid here in the Rondo. 1 elimination, the whole team up. They do have a position on the eastern side of the circle. Aurora right on top of them, though. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I mean, they are certainly alive on this side of the circle, but between Aurora and Ulf, it is a difficult position to try and hold down. And can they get much further forwards? I'm not entirely sure, Schweppes. Oh dear, the flames already licking the front of the bonnet there. And that is going to be an unhealthy vehicle. Not really too reliable when it comes to moving next. But they are safe for the time being next to these 2 teams. I'm looking at Orangutan and 4th Rise on that north side. Could be a contest around the mountain that sits between them. Godlike, I think, are going to have a difficult time moving in as well. Either they could swing out into the blue zone very, very quickly now and try and rejoin Rita. But if you do, you're basically committing to going down in the next zone. Yeah. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. And Ida need to have a monster rondo here if they want to be able to get themselves into serious money. Enigma Galaxy, meanwhile, 2nd place, down a player. Lord going to be using some of that terraforming to put himself into a safe position. This is still super early. I mean, that's just Rondo. The Rondo starts off so aggressive, starts to slow down here in the mid-game as teams solidify their locations. And then it's going to get red hot here in just a minute. Let's see where this circle goes. We're going to see a crazy southern hard shift again. Will it center up? That's going to be huge for these teams. And it does favor the south side a little bit.
Okay, I mean, for Aura, this is great news for them. Their west side is fairly free and clear. Ida do opt to regroup on the south side, which I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that may be a misplay for them. A very difficult approach from that angle. S2G trying to make the approach that is probably in Ida's future. Finding out how difficult it can be. Furia extracting a toll for it. But they do crash in. They do get to the center of this one. And actually, may be able to get control of this recall tower that's available for about another minute or so. If they can get control of it, get that recall in fast, they could be in with a full force squad on this location. And I think they know that Jiggle's here, but they don't have a lot of time to play around with. It's really ticking away, and the bounce on the nade's not good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a self-nade there. I don't know if you saw that chain link fence at the top of it. Great nades, though, from Nongshim Red Force. Oh, it doesn't hit the mark, though. I thought that was good. And they're going to be sharing this location for now with E-Arena. This is pretty darn central. So I'm surprised they're really battling this out. It's a dangerous fight, honestly. Like, if they take this fight, they're going to get third party.
I mean, all the fights now in the middle are dangerous. Godlike on the south side.
What happened?
Ooh, I think a vehicle explosion there came on through.
Was
took
that
Tony K down? No, it wasn't a self-drop, don't worry. I would have clocked that one. It was an explosion that came through. The nade, just falls short of the deployable cover. And they continue to not quite find the mark for for Nongshim Red Force. They aren't quite connecting here. Not quite getting what they want to get done. Orangutan try and crash into the middle against S2G. It's looking to go pretty well for Orangutan, actually, as S2G are going to go down fully. These recall towers are pretty much done and dusted. Only a couple more seconds to get them used.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to be able to use it here at this late stage. especially if you already burned a lot of your recalls earlier on. And let's see right now as Razy is able to get a nice knock there on the tops with a nade. Another one would return as Bose catches Federales. And now here comes Win in the vehicle. Possibly just trying to get some information. He gets some for sure. Pops out. Oh, that did sting.
Okay.
Razak though got the shotgun S12K. Oh, gets knocked. And Team Flash put in the work here on Vitality.
Hey, we know what Razy can do, but he's not going to do it this time around. Vitality go down, Flash playing on with 3. The recall towers are now shut down, which means that every elim will stick. There are no recalls available. The arena somehow managed to get straight to the center of this circle is kind of crazy, and to do so with 4 players alive, great news. Hopefully they can make that one work. Meanwhile, on the south side, you've got Godlike, Eita, and Furia all looking for position. Yeah, this is a replay, I think, on how Tony K went down.
Yeah,
he ran into the buggy. He ran into the buggy.
Yeah, well, it was that cover flare that ended up busting up that buggy, and it was just inching it little by little and just did enough damage to pop it. So you gotta watch out where you drop those cover flares.
Hey, no harm, no foul. They're all alive, and that's what matters right now. Nade over the top, over towards Nigma Galaxy, though, from Tianba, who have had to fight down from this north side of their compound. Nigma Galaxy have been hiding here for quite a while, and Tianba seemed to be an overwhelming force for them. Ralph, alone, isolated, away from the rest of the team. Also been trying to push in from the east side, and somehow Scarface doesn't go down here. Finally does get knocked to QZZ. There is an answer, a little bit of damage, and his 4th drive's chiming in for a 3rd party from the west side.
QZZ getting caught out by Ulf. And now Milo getting shot in his back from 4 Thrives. Tianba now are fully pinched. You got 4 Thrives looking at one side, Ulf looking on the other, and this is all outside of the circle. Disaster here for Tianba, who are looking so strong in this game. Gonna have to fight their way out of this position.
A lot of movement now necessary on the northeast side as well as on this south edge, and this is what I was worried about for Ida. They managed to get a couple of elims on the angle, but they trapped themselves behind the water. Wrapping around that one, it takes so much wind out of your sails. You just don't continue that speed. You don't carry any momentum in towards the circle. And they found out all about it. Furia were a roadblock for them, and they may have dragged Furia down with them, but for Emre, he's now got so much to do, and he's going to crash probably straight onto Aura, and almost certainly going to go down here. I'm so surprised he hasn't already fallen, and Emre just sneaking his way through.
Tianba on the drive-in now. Gonna have to force to just fully send it onto the middle, but they are getting beat up here. Sacrificing players one by one. Milu, with a bad drive. And now it's up to the single player. He does end up catching 1 point. So Tianba hold on just for a little while longer.
Staying alive, staying in the thick of things. The arena unlikely to be able to push fully up and over with Ulf suppressing this angle. Akin can survive for just a while longer. And Ulf are going to have a tough time actually pushing towards this one with the suppressive fire coming in, but Akin does go down. That actually comes from Furia. Very long shot down from the south side. Close to max range, I believe.
Furia,
393 meters there, Ayala.
Ayala and Furia are putting in work here. 10 points on the board so far. Right behind him is OG with 8. They definitely needed those points. And here comes Furia, pressing in through the south side. Moving in little by little. Making sure that there ain't nobody near them.
Aurora with the western high ground as well, this mountain. Giving them a lot to work with. The position held previously by Aura, but they decided to commit instead much more central onto the west point of the compound that sits central on this circle.
This would be a big game for
Aurora this position. I mean, it absolutely could be. Given their position with 8 elims, they've got some brilliant oversight. Not too many teams have the flexibility to challenge them. It is, of course, the Kiss Curse position, though, because you do have to leave it at some point. Well, almost certainly you're going to have to leave it at some point, and that is where things start to get a little bit muddy.
If this zone shifts to Aurora, they're getting like 20 points this game. Plus. I mean, this is the spot to have. But it is quite on the edge here. Let's see if they end up getting lucky. This is the time to get lucky in the map that you really want to get lucky on, that's for sure. But meanwhile, Nongship Red Force catching Chief out from Furia.
Sneaking in. A shot in around the sides of those silos, through the fences. It is pretty resible though for Furia, I imagine. The circle does move away from Aurora though, and up towards the north side. This is a lot of open ground that maybe 4 Thrives could try and leverage, but there's not a lot. for them to try and work with. You could see just sweeping out to the west is wide open. You're going to need those cover flares, so it depends how many they've got in the back pocket. Create some of your own defilades with that destructible terrain. It's what they're going to be needing to do to control that north side. In the meantime, Furia still giving it large on the south side.
Doc starting to throw some nades in. They know they got to get moving here. They got those vehicles. They're smoking, though. Bose does go down. That's huge for the side of Aurora. And Doc trying to drive very carefully, little by little. Oh, saw that crate. I need that. I need that. I got 300 rounds. I need more. I need that util. And he's going to find at least another drink because he was out. Swaps vehicles, and now Aurora just trying to leapfrog into this next zone.
Last player of Orangutan goes down in the meantime. IQ gets spotted out in the open. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? It's such a difficult area to try and move into. The question is timing, and for IQ, he gets caught a little bit too early. And there's really no cover. But it is such a majority on the circle. If you can establish any sort of position out there, you start to get so much control. And with Aurora still able to use the high ground that they've been playing from, they have great sightlines to control that. But Fourth Rise will be able to move in. Aurora are also going to have to move. Oh, beg your pardon. Have to move.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, though. This is Rondo, and if you don't got cover, you got to make your own. Use those cover flares. Use that terraforming. And make it happen. You can see Ulf with a good solid position that they've created for themselves. You got Aura on the other end trying to sneak some eliminations. No Fear going to be laying down, trying to see if he can catch that pixel. He sees him, puts some shots, but not able to get the knock.
Aurora rotating back in towards the compound, looking to extract more point value from these elims. Turney K will be spotted. Zjol rattles him down. And the rest of the team answering with a volley of fire. Emre, by the way, from Ida, still alive. A solo who managed to sneak his way on through. I imagine Aurora should be aware of this position. We'll see if they deal with it or if they allow him to sit there in their buffer zone.
Zjol just getting set up here. I like how he risks it and moved that vehicle just a little bit further so he can cover himself from that angle. The crowd is hyped, they're excited. The Furia fans are going nuts. They see their team with 11 eliminations so far. And there goes Aurora starting to throw some nades. They are in this next circle, so they're just holding the spot for now.
Just holding it down. Slowly marching forwards. Nongshim Red Force making it very difficult for them to move up and through this compound. If they can get a knock, if they can open a way, might be an opportunity for them. There's trades back and forth across every single angle. Nongshim also have spots on towards Horaa, who are trying to make their way up on the western edge. Oh, it's a nasty ascent up this hill. There is a complete broadside from Hyunbin. He's got that DP, a lot of ammo in the tank, and a big north shift comes through.
The circle goes up to the top and away from all of these teams. So all of them are going to have to start moving. Hyunbin, he realizes it. He's like, oh, we're in trouble. We need to just start getting some eliminations here because getting into this next circle is going to be almost impossible.
I'm looking at this circle. I feel like it's Aurora and Fourth Rise right now, who are in some ways stopping each other from being the best in the circle and therefore allowing teams from the south to have an opportunity. If this fight concludes one way or the other, which I don't think it will, Dukes, not at the moment, it could be pretty tricky for everybody else to march forward, but it seems like they found some sort of peace between the two.
That's the right play in all honesty. You gotta just throw the smokes in between, but like, guys, let's look down south. Let's get all these eliminations, fight each other later for first and second place, because, oh, this is a feeding frenzy here on the south side, as all these teams are just desperate to try to find a spot into this next zone. Hyunbin up close and personal. He's got the shotgun. He can make the plays, and Nongshim Red Force are putting in the work up close and personal.
Take down E-Arena, the lobby leaders right now, only getting 2 elims there, no placements. A nice result for the teams looking to chase. Ulf, though, in a little bit of danger as they try and sweep up from the eastern side and crash into Fourth Rise, but with Haifa going down with 2 players left, actually only 1 player left in action. It's only IQ up on the north side, and Furia, in the meantime, are sweeping up. over on the inside of the compound. Ayala on the corner. Dodds goes down to Nongshim as they move out to the east. But Furia now, 12 elims. They're looking for more, and a solo from Jiggle, the only thing standing in their way of controlling the entirety of this compound.
Make that 13 eliminations. Furia on a tear. Jiggle up on top. Catches out the last player of Ida. Aurora, though, are just waiting for this. Gotta be a little bit careful with that cover player. A little bit too close. Chief now forced to just run out the open. Jiggle with the jump down. Trying to make the play in the 1v2. It's Igor to shut him down.
Hey, that's so nasty, though, because it does mean that Igor's going to be alone, solo, and will not be able to weather the storm of bullets sent his way by Nongshim Red Force. Now out in the open, it's Aurora as we transition up to the north side. And 4 Thrives, I mean, they lost so much on that push forwards, and it's just like you now. Hazaifa, I don't think you're getting back over to him, mate. And he does go down. IQ, a solo for 4 Thrives. 14 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force. 10 for Aurora. This is a big game any way you cut it.
And it's going to be one of these teams that's going to win it. Who's it going to be? It's Aurora versus Nongshim Red Force. Yol gets knocked. That could be the opening volley. But Nongshim Red Force just going to hold that angle. So easy, catches top as well. So just knock after knock, back and forth. That's going to really hurt the utility from both these teams. Reefus, level 2 vest, pretty beat up. Sees an angle though. Hits the headshot onto Chizzy and gets the knock.
How do you do it to him, Reefus? Goodness me. That is a beautiful start, and this is the open ground I was talking about before, Jukes. It's just so difficult. There is that sloping ridge in front of Nongshim as well. That means they really kind of only have one angle to go, and it is fully covered off by Aurora.
Yeah, it's because Aurora is shooting some dang laser beams here at the end. The tiniest pixels, nothing but headshots. Nongshim Red Force, we know they got the gun skill to pay the bills though. Gonna have to battle it out with Aurora because Aurora are on fire right now. Now they have the numbers advantage as well, top with 5, and look at that. Nongshim Red Force, they're just stuck. They're stuck in this one spot. They are laid down, but Hyunbin evens out the battle with that huge knock on his Yo. Perfect timing.
And it's a forward position as well, which means that in order to get them back up, they need to break forwards. For Aurora, they need to expose themselves. That makes it more likely. We're in a 3v3 clean. Hyunbin suppressing the corner of the rock there, looking to try and put them back behind it. And he will bury them behind it as Doc is taken down on the angle. That is resible, but it's going to allow them to move forwards incrementally, making their way, making their approach here. Reefus don't dare step up.
Hyunbin is just an absolute beast with these laydown plays. Putting in the work, catches top. Hyunbin is on fire. Making it happen for his team. Applies that suppressive fire onto Reefus. Reefus cannot afford to get knocked here. If he does, he's gone.
He's got the MG3 from the crate though. Is it going to be enough? A lot of damage done to him. Ziol's been slowly bleeding out. There has been reses coming through or attempted to come through from Aurora. And they do manage to pick all 3 of their players back up on the forward front. Ziol finally flushed. Reefus dying left and right with the MG3 barking loudly across the open ground, but not going to be enough. It's going to be the knock sent his way. And Nongshim Red Force are giving this an excellent go. Moving forwards, they make it to the rock, and they are just out of range. The nade goes forwards. Only Top remains in the way, and the Molotov burns him.
And that's it! Nongshim Red Force turning the tables on Aurora. Aurora was looking unstoppable, and then Hyunbin said, "Oh, you think you got it, huh? Nah, we got this."
Clean execution at the end from Nongshim Red Force. A brilliant exit from that location. It got so messy around those silos. Those compounds really, really tricky, and it's got to be so disappointing for Aurora as well.
They don't lose those.
You shouldn't be losing those, no. It is really, really tough stuff. But the open ground was so difficult to get in and towards, with 4 Thrives being in the way for Aurora. If they'd have been able to deal with that a little bit earlier, maybe they could have had more presence there and stopped Nongshim Red Force from getting as far as they did. But a brilliant oversight on the compound for Nongshim Red Force. The South Korean side managed to navigate that one brilliantly.
I mean, that's as fair as a fight as it gets here, folks. I mean, I think out of all the fights I've ever seen Aurora lose, I think that is the most frustrating one for them, because they know that we just got outgun skilled. Us? Aurora? The Mongolian super squad? What happened? Hyunbin with those laydowns, making the plays, the pop-off, Absolutely well deserved. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Locking it in with the daps. That's what you got to do. You got to be pumped when you get those chicken dinners on side. And on Rondo, no less, with a big elim count. That is a breath of fresh air for Nongshim Red Force, hoping to get another global level title as well to convert from their recent win.
Sneaky. I mean, Nongshim Red Force, when they won PMMI, they weren't on top of the leaderboards until literally the last game, right? They stole that tournament. And now in this Rondo, with that many points, woo, these leaderboards are going to look dangerous.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Remember, E-Arena, Nick the Galaxy, again, going down a little bit earlier. That's going to close the gaps once more, and teams can start to catch up. It is looking level. And again, it's that marathon style that we've got on today with the 8 matches from the delays that we had yesterday. The 8 matches today are going to test these teams' endurance.
We still got so many games left.
I'm so excited.
This is just Rondo. We got 3 more Air Gales, 2 more Miramars. How's Aurora going to roar back, though? That's going to be my question. You know, Doc, he did not like that one. They did not like that. Yeah, they were like, there's no way we get bad beat here. Hyunbin, though, I mean, using that terraforming, you can just see for everybody out here that wants to be a professional player, these are the guys you got to look at here because, you know, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Hyunbin, with those laydowns, applying those suppressive fires, predicting where they're going to pick those heads out, hit a few crucial knocks, and he won that for his team.
Absolutely, yeah, getting those picks, absolutely crucial, like you say. And it is a really interesting feature. I think it's probably, for me, the most interesting feature of Rondo is the impact of those, well, actually, maybe 2, but the impact of having destructible terrain, being able to carve out those little divots, those little defilades with explosives, as well as the deployable cover flares. I think those 2 features make Rondo so interesting in these late game stages.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those 2 features, I don't think either team would have been able to make it towards the end there. There was so much open ground, but they had to close it down. And the team to do it was Nongshim Red Force. We'll see you in a few.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Last year, 4 Thrives arrived at the PUBG MOBILE World Cup with an entire country behind them. As the first Pakistani team to qualify for PMWC, reaching the world stage was already history. But once the matches began, they proved they had not traveled there just to participate.
He's found Mafioso, he's got the flush. Got him as well. Nucky, no! How can you do it to him? They want that first place, well, you're gonna have to prize it from his cold, dead hands. Squashed with a chance now, and he's able to close it down.
4 Thrives finished second in the group stage, going directly into the grand finals, and eventually securing 7th place in the world.
Last year, PWC taught us to be more aggressive and more consistent to win this championship.
Their journey began at the PMGO Season 1 South Asia Finals, where they handled the pressure of playing at home and claimed the regional championship.
Now sending shots around the corner, so much damage done, and it's ended. 4 Thrives get themselves a chicken dinner and secure an unbelievably good position.
That victory sent them to Jakarta for the PMGO Season 1 main event, where they would face teams from across the world. And on the opening day of the grand finals, 4 Thrives took complete control.
Possible, but IQ's down at T24. We're 1 versus 1. Weapon swap with the shotgun around his teammate. He finds it! He gets it done, and 4 Thrives.
After 6 matches, they had collected 3 wins and 82 points, building a commanding lead at the top of the leaderboard.
After the 3 chickens on PMGO finals day 1, our confidence boosted a lot. Like, we didn't felt any pressure and we knew we are going to win because we had a big lead.
The second day brought a different challenge. Every team in the lobby was chasing them, and every mistake could reopen the championship race. They finished with 122 points, 77 eliminations, and 3 wins to become the PMGO Season 1 champions, securing their return to PMWC. Last year, they arrived as history makers. This year, they arrive as global champions.
Nothing has changed for us. Our hunger is still the same. Even you can say we are more hungry for this PMWC trophy. We are even more confident than before. We have more experience. We believe that we can be the team who can win this back-to-back global trophy.
4 Thrives have already shown that a Pakistani team can reach the world stage. Now, 4 Thrives head to the PMWC at EWC 26. Ready to prove that PMGO was not the end of their rise. It was only the beginning.
Hey, I got up on the left now.
I'm nading it, okay? I'm nading it.
Nade it on the Dacia, bro. He's low. I don't have nades. On Dacia is low.
No,
I can drop the C4, wait. He's low, headshot. Nice. Last one on me. Yes. No, two. Nice. Let's go. Get the loot. Go left, guys. Please, go left. One guy right, one guy left. Easy. They're 2 knocked. Zone will kick them. Back over, just get left. One guy left. I'm running up.
Behind the tree.
Okay, I'm running up on him. Play time.
Behind the car. Kitleyim ben. Risk atmayacağım.
Taşla galiba. Mermi çektim. Tarıyorum Cema, full tarıyorum. Mermim yok ama.
Mermim kalmadı.
Lan gidin vurun, alana salacak. Nice oğlum. Nice.
เฮ้ยขวาตัวนึงขวาตัวไหนไปนอนอยู่นอนสวยตัวซ้ายไอ้เจมส์เล่นด้วยกันนะใจเย็นมองนี่คือเจ็บไปดีกว่าวิ่งมาเลยหลังต้นไม้เจ้ามาลูกกูสายกลางกดซ้ายกดขวาเฮียไม่วะ
This rondo would be the match to just kickstart a bunch of the teams that weren't performing well in this first 2 Miramars, and one of them being Aurora, showing on Kalaris one of the biggest throws that we have seen. They look so good until the end.
Everything was lining up so well. They threaded the needle down on the south to be able to get between Godlike and Fury on that rotation. And I thought to myself, they're playing it fantastic. They're being able to hold a position, cautious of where Horaa was, and then maybe flex out on that west side. But Max, the fight against Nongshim, who played an amazing game as well on the other side.
Like, you can't hate too much on it because, yeah, Nongshim Red Force had some insane shots. Hyunbin in particular, the way he was able every time to allow his teammates to push forward and he would cover them, but he wouldn't just be cover fire. He would literally tear down every single player on Aurora Gaming. I think he knocked out top twice in that final fight.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm very happy about it. If Kalaris is angry, I'm having a good day. So, yeah, but like, as you said, it was great rotations overall from Aurora, but the gunplay from Nongshim Red Force is what redeemed the game for South Korea.
And this is completely opposite from what we saw from Nongshim yesterday, right? Because we were talking about Hyunbin just being super aggro and going without his team and all of this, and he's done the complete opposite of that today here, going, I'll support you guys, I'll be that support player, I'll be the fragger, but I will let you guys go first.
I mean, it wasn't just this final fight for Nongshim Red Force that looked amazing. It was the parking bay control, dealing with anybody coming from silos, fighting into the circles as well. This for Nongshim Red Force was a masterclass of control.
The fight with E-Arena especially.
Yeah, the thing is, that fight on E-Arena was executed so well, it was so snappy, so quick, but the fact that they survived that fight in the city, right, get outside the city, fight against the other teams that were 4 Thrives, then win the fight onto Aurora, all of that basically, while still keeping yourself up as a 4-man team is insanely impressive at this level of play.
I think there's very few teams that can make it look that good.
No, because, and this is the thing, is this is one of the teams that can go from 0 to 100, right? They were in that compound, they were there for a long time, they were just kind of keeping away from E-Arena here, and then they just unleashed the beast. I mean, look at these eliminations coming in from each of the players, so even across the board, and they just are able to just turn up the heat, go, okay, it's go time, and go for it.
Yeah, we usually talk about Hyunbin just being able to be the frag out power for this squad. TZ as well has been stepping up. It's good to see that all the players have been stepping up in this one. One of the biggest question marks that we have had for Nunchim, especially in this last 2 days, have been those placement points. And for them to finally get over that hump, getting that chicken dinner, considering that the Smash Roll is going to be in play tomorrow, this is going to make them really happy. I know you're really happy about it.
I'm loving it, seeing Hyunbin and the boys getting so many points on board. But before this game, right, the placement points were at an all-time low. We just didn't see very many late-game finishes from this team. But the fact is, and as we just saw on that graphic, right, they got eliminations on every single player. Very happy, but apparently, Eren is your MVP of the game, and he had some really good fights, one of those onto 4 thrives. So good plays here from Eren that I didn't expect. I thought it would be definitely one play from Nongshim Red Force.
Well, Tizzy, the fact that he did 1,200 some damage from the parking bay. I mean, it's one of the highest spots in that circle, never mind the silos that exist there. So it's a great spot to be able to have those engagements from.
No, it was very good indeed. And mentioning Ulfred, because they were in an altercation with 4 thrives, and looking at the circle, I was like, okay, well, Nongshim has everybody in town to deal with. You've got 4 thrives having to deal with Ulf, and so Aurora were able to actually just have the complete west side kind of to themselves, get that long-range third party going, which is that's their MO, and that's probably why we saw them do so well. While they probably should have had that win, was they were long distance, they were able to have that long distance, put some distance between them and other teams. But for Nongshim, for them to actually third party over onto Ulf in the 4 thrives fight, just as 4 thrives were kind of getting cleared up, that is true. They do.
Ida has something personal with
It's so true. It's so true. But Nongshim really showcasing how great their timing is and how well they can actually read the lobby, what's going on around them, and take advantage of that.
One team that we've been following as well, especially today, that has been starting to kickstart it, is 4 thrives. 4 thrives. In this last match, they were controlling a lot of that north, but they were 2 split, even though they weren't man down. And this is something that we were harping on a lot yesterday from them, having unnecessary splits at times. They were being pinned down by Aurora, though.
They were being pinned down. It's a very difficult portion of zone. I don't think we've seen it be played that much, and so when it's so open like that, it is difficult to try and have the control that you really want. But yeah, there were some changes that could have been made to that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that when you look at how Nongshim Red Force had to play it, in a very similar area, you see how flat that area is. You can't, there's a lot of times where people get stuck in urban endings and urban situations, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, that team on the outside is going to be able to hold them off. But you saw how flat it was. They couldn't put pressure onto anyone coming from their 4 thrives. They were there in a good spot, but they were there too early.
Yeah, actually looking at another team I feel like did really well this game is actually Furia, right? Able to jump up here in 4th position, get himself a total of 60 points, 2 points behind the podium, held down by Nigma Galaxy. But this game, how they were able to do actually a big jump around the teams in the southern side against Godlike and also the side of Ida, and then getting in the city and sweeping teams. Sure, they don't get the win, but highly impressive from Furia. They feel like now are building up their momentum. They're a very streaky team, and now I feel like the podium is where they want to head towards next.
That's back-to-back games too for Furia, being able to just show that aggressiveness, getting those eliminations as well, maintaining themselves within the 4th place, because one thing that we're kind of looking at is E-Arena starting to create a gap with some of those teams. That's something that 2nd place, especially of Esports, they had 2 outstanding mirror marks, and in this one we saw Eden being able to get the MVP.
I just want to bounce off what you said about Furia with the 2 good games, because I didn't like them moving into that silo location. I thought they could potentially backfill the west side after coming in super late on that south, but hey, they proved me wrong. I think that they really showed great presence of mind, great kind of space control when they were moving through, and were able to hit the gunfights well.
Yeah, it was very nice indeed. I was watching them, kind of how they were moving, because some teams like Aurora, right, you have your position and you kind of just stay there. There's not too much movement going on. For Furia, they were in the middle of the silos, and yet they were always looking, always moving, always trying to figure out where the next play was going to be. So very mobile, very proactive thinking. You could tell from how these guys were moving. Yeah, just very proactive, and that's what you want to see in the middle of a city fight like that.
Yeah, we did see the second page there for a quick second, and I want to highlight one player from Godlike. Man, S-Power is putting up like so many great clutches. We had some clutches early on Miramar. He did it here on the hot drop right versus top. He was cooking the grenade, got the damage, forced to find CQC. I really do believe, and my favorite player from India, by the way, normally is legit but I got to say, S Power is putting some global level
looks
fights
good.
here. He is looking highly impressive, and right now I would say the best player in India by a significant margin.
Yeah, this is not even close, honestly, especially with S Power. Now all we need is to see what the Nangshan players were able to do, which wasn't just one player. We need all the players from Godlike being able to step it up. But as we're going to be heading into the first Erangel, let's send it over to Barney and Luti.
Luti, what an absolute treat today is.
I mean, 8 games, that's so many clips can happen today.
I know, 5 more maps to go,
Yeah,
so
it's
much
insane.
more PMWC action to come. But I tell you what,
Tell me.
we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the fans, right?
Of course, they're coming from all over the world.
That's right, and we've got some right here in the Gadia City grid as well, so why don't we check in with them?
Okay.
Okay, you want to check in?
Yeah,
You
my
got that
side is better.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty
all right,
sure.
all
I'm
right.
pretty sure my
Calm
side is
down,
better.
calm down. Okay, all my fans on this side of the building, make some noise!
Nah. I think we're better. Please, from my side, make some noise!
Okay, now you know what you gotta beat, guys. Now you know what you gotta beat. Okay, I see some Furia fans. Everybody, Vasambaruyo!
I see. I have 40 fans right there, and I can see in their own language as well. It is time. Sean Macho! Look at them going. They are crazy.
Okay, you know what, Luti?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
you can beat me 1-0. But we'll check in a little bit later today. Casters, who do you think won that?
I think the fans all won that. You know, I'm going to be completely equivocal, that's everybody won because we got to experience the energy that is going to be put towards this match, the first of our Erangels today, a triple billing. As we sidle over towards match 8 with Nongshim Red Force able to close down a clutch chicken dinner in the final moments of that last game. Now they turn their attention to the grassy pastures, and maybe we'll get an answer to our question about a couple of our other teams, Dukes, because of course the thoughts on everyone's minds when it comes to these Erangel situations is what is going to happen in Pachinki?
Yep.
Is Enigma Galaxy going to be left alone, or is Ida going to continue down their futile path?
Well, that's the question, because the only other question is Enigma Galaxy going anywhere else? And the answer is no, I'll tell you that. So we're going to see what's going to happen on the side of Pachinki. But who's going to get these points, man? We're heading on over to good old-fashioned Erangel. We got 3 of these matches today, and this is the first one here in day number 2 of the finals, live here in Paris, France. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup.
It's so American of you to say Paris, France, as if anybody was laboring under the delusion it was Paris, Texas. Come on. That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
It's about the same heat, though, I'll tell you that right now, because it was hot outside today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been pretty hot in these games as well, as we are channeling the sun. Even when it's hiding behind the moon, cheeky little sun, you know, got to get him back. We did indeed, but we are going across Erangel once more. The plane path splitting the middle in the most horizontal flight I think I've ever seen.
Right, that's as dead center as it gets right there, literally, right down the middle. And you can start seeing these teams start to spread out. Top players, Aaron right now leading the charge when it comes to damage. But man, those leaderboards changing things up. Irina still up on top there. Enigma Galaxy down in 3rd, Wolf right behind them. But Aurora and Nongshim Red Force push themselves up. Now you can see Nongshim in 5th place with 59 points. That's a much more comfortable position. But we are starting to see some point gaps already starting to be present. This is the most important day here, folks, because that's what's going to set that smash point threshold. And Irina have a nice little gap here, so they're a little bit comfortable, but it ain't over yet. They got to keep that aggression up all day long.
Now, you know what? I talked about it before, right? Arena, chicken dinner towards the start of the day, and then what happens, right? It's that question of then what happens. Oh, by the way, Ida, not in Pachinki. Enigma Galaxy will be left alone. It is a Gatka split drop for Ida.
Oh,
Thank you so much to all the coaches, to all the analysts, to the players. I love it.
Shout out to everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Shout out to Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
Get that Ninetales Fury's Og, baby. Gotta get it here quick before it's gone. As the Naruto Uzumaki event is still going on. We had a nice little show match earlier. Got to see some of the A7 boys once again. And man, putting in some work. Dropping them jutsus. Them ninjutsus. Substitution jutsus.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told they're called. Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. I mean, we saw that show match earlier today, which was great fun. I think everyone had a good time with it.
It's fun. Calaris,
and you know, Alpha 7 have to win something.
Yeah, they gotta win something, that's for sure. You know, anytime I get to hear Calaris cast the show match is incredibly loves to do those, so I'm so glad he was able to get one in.
He looked pretty good with the headband as well.
Yeah, he did. He rocked the red one too. I was like, man, this guy is styling today. Should have kept it on all day, in my opinion.
I think he has.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
right,
saw him
he
backstage.
has.
He was running with his arms behind his back. Yeah. He does that everywhere now.
Wow. I like it. It's a good look. He should hold on to it. Speaking of good looks, right? Ulf looking pretty good today. I mean, they're in second place. They've been getting a ton of eliminations here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing fares out. I'm interested to see kind of how teams develop their mindset here going into today specifically, because I think a lot of squads just need to pretend like, hey, this is match 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got our rondo out the way, now into Erangel.
Yeah, Aaron doing a lot of work for the team on Ulf right now. The elims he's been able to find, picking them away from a lot of different scenarios. He's been able to extract just these sneaky little flush steals once or twice, as well as the rest of Ulf doing a lot more. They had a really solid position during that rondo. There were some difficult south shifts that forced them off that high ground mountain quite a while into the zones, which kind of took a little bit of momentum away from them, but the fact that they're able to convert and get a decent line on that game was pretty great, great. And getting that match MVP title as well for Aaron. So yeah, in second place, good news for them. One step closer to E-Arena. It's a very tight grouping over towards the top side of these tables still. I mean, there is a bit of a drop off, I think, you know, from ninth all the way up to second. It's fairly flexible still, given the number of matches we still got left to play, but it's going to get a lot more solid, and teams beneath that, I feel like you're stretching a little bit far now to try and catch up.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, right? I mean, we got to look at the math of it. I mean, there's a lot of games still left to be played. I get where you're going with this, though, right? With how these top teams are performing, it's getting real scary here, right? So if you want to be able to make a run for that first place, you got to start performing here, right now. Especially for that 9th place on down. It really is starting to get chicken dinner time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen teams go, you know, back to back, triple chicken dinner. So for all you guys that are fans there of, you know, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Flat, S2G, all the squads down there, you know, give your team your energy, right? Start spamming the chat. They need that positive reinforcement here, because they are not even close to out of the running there. We got a lot of matches left to go, a couple good wins, and boom, they're at the top.
I'm looking right now at what Enigma Galaxy are doing this split. We saw it from them in the previous stages they played in their group stage. They leave 2 players in Pachinki. They send 2 players out really wide. We've been denied the opportunity to see this happen over the course of these grand finals because of the hot drop with Ida. But now they are unleashed. They've been able to not only get the early loot truck and try and get a little bit of a duplicate on that as well, but they have been able to send out that early duo scout that they seem to find to be successful. They sent out towards Milta Power before on a game that they were able to win in the end, and they now have a foothold over towards the west side in the fields that stretch out to the north of Quarry. And they'll have to figure out how to regroup at some point, but for now there's still a permeable line across the middle of this zone as the arena tried to make it a little bit more waterproof and don't let the Eagle fly.
Yeah, the Eagle is grounded here. He's going to go to the lobby. That's the first elimination. Joker catching it. And that is devastation for this lobby, because, I mean, the E-Arena are red hot today. Just straight aggression, putting on some points on the board. That 2-2 split you called out there from Enigma Galaxy is great to see. See how well it works out for them, though. As they're putting that 2-2, yeah, because if the zone goes on over to the east side, they got a position locked down. If it goes on over to the west, they got a spot. So just depending on where the zone goes, but at the same time, it's difficult to get there. That's going to be the big question. Aurora, still a military base. They're going to be starting to push themselves up through the bridge side. Nobody gatekeeping it, so they should have a clean path on in. But we're still in the very, very early game here. Only one player in this lobby has been eliminated.
Yeah, only the one pickup found. We saw that. Over onto Tianba as well, which is not going to be friendly. They had a real glow up into the survival stage, I think it's safe to say. But here, it's not quite been as consistent. And that's probably likely to the fact that you're adding the top 10 teams back in. Yeah. Right? You're coming back into the lobby with the teams that directly qualified. Tianba, it's great that they've gained that confidence. This is not the Tianba we saw in their group stage. But there is a little bit more force to come up against. Yeah. And that's, I think, what they're trying to come to terms with.
This lobby is wild. It really is. I love to see just the progression here of PUBG Mobile. Back in the day, we had like a handful of good teams and everybody else was kind of pretty far down when it came to skill. But the skill gap has been closed, and teams are going to have to get moving real quick here. That 2-2 split working out for Enigma Galaxy, considering that they already have a couple players in this area. Vitality's right behind them, though. Coops got to get away from this one. He's on the drive. Trying to sneak away here. Serpentine, he's down low. Can he get away? No.
So close. And remember, the 2-2 split there means that he's just not got the cover of another team, of the rest of his teammates to actually take that fight. So for Enigma Galaxy, this is the worst case scenario. They've left Satan alone out on the western side. Ralph and Lord unlikely to be able to push on through. Ulf losing Aaron though, as they rotate out to the west as well, is a pretty big pickup for the lobby to be able to find that one. And in the center of this, it starts to get crunched in. E-Arena, I feel like they've got a pretty solid spot on this. Vitality trying to line the edge of that swamp. Defend it like an ogre.
Run, Satan, run. He's all by himself, just trying to find a position for the rest of his team. But the rest of his team is going to have a tough time rotating on over to him.
Yeah, that's. I was just having a little chuckle to myself about how it looks like Satan's trying to go over the north, and the other duo from Enigma Galaxy, it looks like they're trying to go around the south.
Yeah.
The Benny Hill music was playing in my head. They were chasing each other's tails, and neither one able to catch it. But it's going to be a sent straight through the middle. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, it's a repair play. Lovely little thread on the needle there for IQ. Over towards Federalis, and they share the swamp across the way.
Nice little pop shot. Oh, they want this. Okay, 14's on the push. Here come 4 Thrives now. Battling it out. Huzaifa up close and personal. Axel driving away, using that hovercraft to find an off angle. That's going to make things interesting. Vitality going to have to make some plays, though. E-Arena catching out Raouf. So that 2-2 split not working at all. Bounce nade is going to be good from Huzaifa. And 4T turning things around. There's another one!
Hell yeah.
You had to know it was coming, Axel. And you pay the price.
T24 does get flushed in the meantime. S2G third partying this from the south side. Hot Juice Razak is in the hovercraft, but it starts to go up in flames, and down he goes. 4 Thrives. Ruthless aggression roll up. Coming on in. Hit them with the suplex and take them down out of the ring. They are no longer in this Royal Rumble.
Ooh, welcome to Suplex City, baby. That's how you do it. 4 Thrives getting hot. 4 eliminations, taking out Team Vitality with a great shutdown there. And now you can see on the side of Everest, Team Flash, they're going to be holding that high ground. Next circle about to pop. Are we going to see another crazy hard shift? We'll find out. Lord getting eliminated here, and south we go. Yoink!
All right. I mean, to be fair, this is actually kind of chill, given the layout of all of our teams,
Sure,
right?
we're already here.
A lot of them decided to go down south. The major feature that caused this is those fields, right? They sit to the south of Hospital. Nobody wants to sit in them. It is really nasty to be in that sort of area, as well as Everest being a roadblocker on the northeast side of it. It creates this lineup. So teams funneled into this south side, so a circle like this actually benefits the majority of the lobby.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I mean, they were already all set up in this position. The zone going here, super beneficial. This is a huge spot here, and it's a battle of contention. Aurora starting to push Nongshim Red Force. It's a rematch, and Nongshim Red Force win once again.
No doubt in my mind that's how it should have gone in that last match. They make it happen, repeating history. And does that mean that Aurora are living up to the definition of insanity? I don't know, but they're going to have to change something if they want to win the fights against Nongshim and join them back up on the podium, because they are putting some pace down now, the South Korean side, opening distance and take control of an area on the south edge of this circle. Putting pressure onto SDG, stopping Godlike potentially moving in, as well as Flash off in the distance.
I've had the pleasure of being able to spend some good quality time with the players from Aurora, especially after their performance at PMGC. And I'll tell you one thing, if I know these guys, they are fuming right now.
Well, you know, it's not infrequent that Doc wins the MVP award, despite not winning this tournament.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily on track to do that here, but yeah, it's evident that they definitely are gunning for this top spot, but right now they're being denied.
Yeah, let's take a look though as we move on over to some of these other fights. Now 14 teams are remaining. We got Aurora Vitality out. A couple players from some other squads out as well. Wolf did lose a player early on. But E-Arena, 2 eliminations. They are the big squad in this lobby. Got a nice position in this zone as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how this game is going to fare. Also can't wait to hear what the Deaths has to say, especially about like that Enigma Galaxy split. I hope we hear from them because it's such an interesting play.
Well, I mean, that circle shift out to the west side that went so quickly kind of devastated them. If it hadn't been as hard, it basically, I think almost any other circle, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as devastating for them. It was just so nasty because everybody started flooding west almost immediately. Oh, speaking of difficult circle shifts, that is pretty nasty. But yeah, the regroup was then completely blocked off. The gap started to close, and the backstop for Enigma Galaxy wasn't pacey enough to catch up this time. Yeah, disappointing, unfortunate. Maybe they need a hot drop to be able to perform well in these games. Maybe Ida should go back to Pachinki, and that's what they've read into. But you know, Ida, pretty happy with themselves that they didn't right now, because they have that Gatko position. They are one of the only teams in the northeast side in these open fields.
And they get blessed here in this circle, and that just goes to show sometimes a hot drop is good to avoid. Satan all by himself. Oh, he's so in trouble. It's on fire. That Murado, he's going to have to pop out, lay down, and Nongshim Red Force right there. This is like literally the worst location he can be stuck into. Not good. Well, yeah, just a bad game for Enigma Galaxy overall. Still a couple more though in the books.
It's not terrible for him in this position, right? You have this little defilade, you're kind of covered off from the buildings out in the open. The nades though from Nongshim Red Force does make it all the more terrible.
That looks pretty terrible.
With which they rolled up does make it harder, but he's still got a little bit of fire in the belly.
Less terrible now. Yeah, Satan on the move. Did get a nice knock there, and now it's bad.
Okay, yeah, well, he's not there anymore. My point was, there is a little bit of cover, and teams on that ridgeline can't necessarily peek over the top. The reason that they were able to do so is because there isn't so many teams out in the open fields, right? And if it happened a little bit later, maybe that would have changed. So I think I read a little bit too much into that to call it enough cover, but either way, he does go down.
6 shot though.
One of the very few players to be able to knock Hyunbin on that trade though.
Yep, that was really nice.
Just saying.
Just saying, indeed. Not an easy feat.
Horaa.
Wow, what happened to Horaa?
They tried to roll in from the west side, and it didn't work. I think that's a pretty apt summation of what's about to happen.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do. Orangutan have a real opportunity, though, to find an isolated outpost as the south side gets hot as well.
Yeah, it's getting hot indeed. You can see Oh So Easy on fire. They're down to 1 HP. He's going to get knocked. Al-Ula looking to take out Nongshim Red Force.
S2G.
And yeah, here comes S2G. This Wizard Tower is by far one of the most dominant positions in this zone, and that's why so many teams, they want it, and they want it bad. S2G on the push. They know that that Wizard Tower is weak from this hillside. Starting to throw some utility out, trying to see if they can get a good opening knock here.
Seems like they're slowing it down, though. Over on the northwest side, you've got E-Arena at loggerheads. Scrapping it out across the way as well with Furia. 2 players, 3 players now down. Turney K's on the inside, terminating with the P90. Pops the reload there. Gets the ammo back into control, and the res can come through as well for the backlines. Furia are going to get dismantled, and they get taken down.
Oh, it's rough, especially considering they lost out to E-Arena. They feed E-Arena 4 more points. The White Rabbit really on the run here. Hopping to victory. Next zone, where's he going? If it centers up, it's going to be disgusting as that field is wide open. Okay, it goes to the north side.
Is it like a rule that the circle has to touch the edge of the previous one in this game?
Just hug it.
It's just like, yeah, I just pick a point around the circle. Yep. I attach myself to that. See what we're going to go for. Another hard shift is crazy, but it's a crazy fight unfolding for Godlike as they find one, try and trade it around the corner with Team Flash, and Tops goes down, put into the meat grinder there.
Let's go at Mino, getting a nice knock and finish. 4 points on the side of Godlike. Haven't had the hottest of starts here. Still putting up some points on the board though. OG, other Indian team, putting in some nice knocks. And Godlike OG are right next to each other on the leaderboards. Again, still a lot of matches left to be played. This could be that start for them to take charge. A few good games is all it takes.
There's fewer and fewer matches though getting played. Alula try and roll up, try and take this fight with S2G, but it's not going super well for them as they haven't even been able to find that knock onto Hamzy. Down the hill, he was able to survive on a sliver of HP, gets the healing done nice and fast, and S2G can transition now without Alula breathing down their necks. They've only got 1 player, and Yasser is already sending out into the open. 4 Thrives getting roadblocked on the northern rotate as Ulf and the Arena sit in front of them. Alula losing their final backstop, and Godlike now trying to roll up into the engagement as Ida takes shots from a distance.
Yeah, and that's it for Alula. Now you got S2G that we're holding this Wizard Tower here, but is now outside of the circle. They're gonna have to get moving. Meanwhile, you got Tianba trying to get rezzed up here. Out in the open. They got a couple busted up vehicles here for cover, utilizing those smokes as well, but the pressure is imminent. Now comes Scarface. Scarface with a nice nade onto Joker. That's gonna finally pepper E-Arena's position. But now E-Arena are in this next zone. Godlike trying to possibly gatekeep this. I almost ran right into that nade. That was dangerous.
Solo remaining for Nongshim.
Did they spot him?
A spiteful look in his eye, a glint, a gleam of malice, but it's spotted by Solke. He sees that one gleaming in the grass and puts it down. Snake out of action.
That's huge. Now they don't got to worry about that anymore. Now they got to worry about Godlike as they got one of those players up close and personal. Gonna switch on fights on over to this fight though as E-Arena, top team in the lobby, still alive. Now we're back.
Hey, they're more than alive. They're kind of thriving on this northwest side in that fight. Goodness me. Godlike losing their backstop there as Mino goes down. And now playing on as 2 chunks being torn out of everyone as Turney K continues to turn up the heat with that P90. Finds a load of elims from Ulf.
Turney K now taken out. That is huge. That's going to be from Aching. Tianba now getting in the mix. They know it's E-Arena. So if you're Tianba, this needs to be your hard focus here. You want to be able to slow them down.
I mean, you want to, sure. You absolutely do. But The question is, can you? With Tourniquet out, you're right, without that P... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. I think Joker was able to recover the P90 just there.
Do you have ammo for it, though?
I believe he was able to pick everything up there from the body. But it's a hard shift again.
What is going on?
It has to touch the previous circle.
It's a rule.
I'm telling you. It's something about this game. 4 drives, they're going to have to leave, but they may have to leave one of their players behind as Falak has taken an E. Scarface down low. Last player alive for Nade over the top from
Down
IQ.
low.
Good bounce.
Too slow.
Rolls under. Right behind the wheel arch and is right in his face. Scarface, you can't chew that.
Oh, man, he ate that one. And 4 thrives on the move. IQ going on over to Falak. Gets the res right on time. Save.
Able to keep things alive. No idea what that was. Able to keep him alive, but Zypher not so lucky. As Falak will get back to his feet. But they have a long road to tread now. S2G covering off the south rotate, and I feel like E-Arena sweeping around may not be the worst idea. Maybe try and push through 4 thrives. Continue on. Challenge S2G's backstop, maybe. Oh, it's a difficult approach. No matter which way you cut it. But for E-Arena, they're already on 6 elims, Dukes. They're already into the top 6. They're having a good game, and everybody from 2nd down to 6th has already gone down.
Oh, Schweppes spins out and gets punished. Falak barely moving out the way. Gets a couple, but now there's Mormon up. IQ, gotta make a play here. You need to stop E-Arena. They have been too dominant so far. They are putting in work. They take down Falak. Now Mormon gonna have to run away. This nade looks good from IQ, though. Oh, it gets to secure 4 thrives. Finally shut down E-Arena.
Okay, so they are drawn a little bit shorter than they could have gone. Really nice hold there from Falak, I think, on that roll-up from E-Arena. He was able to do so much damage. Unfortunately, not able to survive, but IQ was. And he was able to put a 10th elimination on the cards there for 4 thrives. They have been blasting on this western side. In the thick of it, the fight, seemingly, well, the flower of their success has bloomed. IQ now rolls over the top, steps up with Aching, and he springs out wide. Nearly sends to the sky, but will take the tumble, finally going down. And breaches them up to 60 points.
Oh, and now he gets it. I'll take that buggy. Thank you very much. As he's going to go ahead and head into this next zone. Uh-oh, getting shot up. Oh, that hurt.
I don't think he is.
And S2G said, no, sir, not today.
Not getting in here. Access denied. Hey, you know what's brilliant?
What's that?
Ida didn't hot drop, and now they're in the final circle.
Oh!
Isn't that great?
It's almost like it was a good idea.
Who'd have thought? Who could have thought that not dying immediately would be a good idea? Orangutan trying to break out from their compound on the north side, but again, so open. 2 teams with broadside on you. I don't think you last that much longer here. A cop on that north edge. I feel like we're just waiting for him to go down here.
Oh, yeah.
And he falls.
Goodbye, and S2G finally starting to make some noise here in Erangel, but it's S2G versus Ida.
2 teams from Turkey. Out in the open, though, S2G definitely have control of this circle.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment, Ida are completely penned in within their compound, and with this circle, they have to leave. There is no 2 ways about it.
Man.
They have to get out of there. The question is how you do it. The start needs to be a big pick.
The zone didn't touch the edge.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
What a change up here. Kamikaze able to find a P90 and full level 3 gear. Oh man, that is just so good on the side of S2G. Gotta be careful though, he's gonna be hiding behind this tree. Cannot afford to get knocked, but they have full control of the circle. Ida have to move out. If you're Ida right now, you really need to kind of start peeking and trying to find a pick. If you can get a good knock here.
I think. No, they're just mounting up. I mean, look at the timers on those smokes. Yeah, they're just going to go for the vehicle rollout and try and crash it. They're going to try and read the zone. The laying out back, the laying out wide. For S2G, they've left a trap for Lost to be able to find the pickup, but Rita may be able to find something. The fact that there's only 1 knock set to Ida is not great for S2G, but finally get a second. There is finally an answer, and Emre charges in, but the ammo count is very, very low there, and they've already lost 2.
Trying to get this confirmation. He should be able to get at least 1. Yeah, I don't think that point. All right, well, that's a consolation prize. But S2G looking to make this happen unless Darkin gets a good shot. He's only got 21 rounds left.
in the Mini 14.
And Kamikaze's full level 3'd out. That's going to be a hard knock.
I mean, there's plenty of ammo left in the back pocket there.
Oh,
Kamikaze.
ouch, ouch.
Oh, what a lineup. Steps out a little bit too wide there. And Emre able to shut it down, but he's getting crunched in by the zone. Forced in, but S2G seemed like they had complete broadside here, but now we're in a 2 versus 2. Emre steps back into the blue. Baits Sulke out for the peak, but doesn't quite confirm. He's still down on his belly, though. Stands up, goes for the fight. Does take a lick back, but Sulke puts him down. A 1 versus 2 as Darkin spreads out wide, tries to sweep over towards the off angle.
Hit the gas. Darkin coming up close and personal, and Hatsuji with the DBS. And nah, not today. This is our game to win. That's a big S2G chicken dinner.
S2G going God mode at the end there. Chokehold on the zone, able to take it all down. Nobody standing in their way. Really nicely felt there on that south edge. For Ida, a little bit too passive in their zone, in their compound, but they survived deep into the match, Dukes, and that is a good result. I feel like they were able to do, well, I know that they were able to do a lot more than they've done in any other Erangel over the course of this tournament.
Yeah, or any other game in this tournament, right? Yeah, this is huge for the side of Ida. Honestly, a great finish. They were stuck in those buildings. That's a hard one to win. I just personally would rather see them just from those buildings really try to pursue a knock before just randomly sending it in. I think that would have been the play. But hey, you know what? To each their own. Sometimes you got to go for it. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But S2G, I mean, they're so good at just popping people out of vehicles that it just made it hard. But we did see that solo player from Ida really put in work towards the end, almost turned things around for them.
I mean, Emery was doing a lot over in the open field there. I feel like what happened there was that they got information on the back lines on towards where Lost was, and they were able to flow out that way, and that's what they went for in those final moments. Maybe a little bit over-invested on the angle though.
Let's listen in to hear what they have to say on that match.
Sürünüyor. Bak eve bak.
Arabayla çıkıyor, sağda çıkıyor. Tamam. Hamsi çok iyi bakman lazım ona.
Hadi arabayı basacağım. Bakacağım.
Ha çok mermim yok, sıkmayacağım, gelsin.
Geliyor, sana geliyor. Pozisyon alacağım.
Nice oğlum, nice. Çok iyisin.
That sounded really chill. That sounded really chill, relaxed. They felt in control, and I could smell it.
Oh yeah, they knew that was their win. Yeah, let's get high, folks. This is what it's all about. The best of the best on the planet battling it out for some major money. What a game. S2G finally get their win here. And we still got a whole bunch of more games coming up.
WC 26, I'm the 7WG, and I'm joined by none other than the record-breaking man, Snacks Gaming. Snacks, how are you enjoying Paris so far?
I'm in amazing bonjour and representing India here doing the watch party. I'm the first Indian ever to host a watch party officially from the S tier tournament, World Cup. First Indian ever to do the watch party, and I'm super proud that these 8 boys, the game they showed in the group stage, the way they qualified, the standard they have set, because we don't get to play regularly these lobbies, and the way they adapted these lobbies and the way they qualified made us proud, and that's why I'm here.
That's the biggest one, the way that they have adapted to the lobby. I feel like it's one of their biggest strengths too. We saw that with OG, we saw it with Godlike as well. Talking about Godlike, no more hot drops out of that team. They started performing a lot better here in these last matches.
In the group stage, as they said, they did try to experiment the drop fights. I mean, they had a lot of drop fights, but initially for the first day of the group stage, they didn't feel good after taking the drop fights. They switched the playstyle and now they're playing safe for the initial part of the drop. Then after that, if they survive 4-man, you have seen the players' potential. The way S-Power clutched, I mean, I feel like it's going to be the clutch of the tournament. The way he played, the gunpower these boys have is insane. I just want them to stick together, play 4-man together, because in this lobby, it's all about team game. It's all about the way these teams isolate fights. And I wish they play together and they bring something really good performance back for India.
And I'm hoping that's going to be the case, especially with the first round that we just saw, and then on the upcoming matches as well. I think they will be able to bounce back. I have Godlike finishing in top 5 and OG finishing in top 10. Damn, what are your predictions, brother?
I mean, I just want them to do good, because we don't know the struggle they have been going through. We don't know the grind, how much grind they have did. Everything answers only through the gameplay. I wish we get top 5 for both the teams. It's going to be a huge thing for India, because again I said we don't get used to play regularly in these lobbies, and we get more opportunities because of these boys. And all these players watching from India, all these esports players watching from India, they'll get inspired and they'll feel motivated to do more for the country.
100%. Shukriya, bhai. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show, and I hope that the Indian teams continue to step it up. Back for some more PMWC at EWC 26. Great interview with Snacks Gaming. I'm glad that he was able to make it here to Paris, EWC 26 for PMWC, the grand finals. But let's talk about this game, because S2G, we finally got a chance to see S2G the way that we have been wanting them to, pretty much having to grind out that circle, having to push people away like they were able to do with Alula.
It was clearly a Turkish wombo combo right there. First and second place got Ida getting himself to second place finally, right? Can talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, S2G, beautiful fight onto Al-Ula. There was Godlike, there was also Nongshim Red Force, and they were all vying for that one Harry Potter tower down on the southern edge. And overall, the fighting capabilities of S2G have been soaring in the finals, and we just see more consistency, which is what I was hoping to see from this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy right now the classic Kamikaze, which is now canonically known as just the full center as a one player, and then just dominate from there. And the thing is, Kamikaze can get it done, which is super interesting. He just exerts a lot of control. Soul K from the backlands on that anchor, super cool. Wouldn't call it a wombo combo. I wouldn't be comboing Ida with S2G. That's not fair. I'd have them separately. You know, S2G, you know, maybe up here, then Ida maybe down here, something like that.
I felt like that was the only time I could really say it, so that's why.
Sitting at the end giggling at you guys. Can I just hand it over to IQ? Can I just pick an MVP right now? Because holy guacamole, the clutch insanity from IQ right now. Obviously, you know, we kind of want the rest of Fourth Rhymes to join in on that action, but the clutch ability and also the decision making and the macro calls from IQ right now is insane. Also, the opening fights and frags that IQ is doing. We obviously saw it on the rooftop. I think I blinked. I think me and Max just kind of blinked, and I was like, wow, that was the fastest kill I've kind of seen. But like, it's insane the performance coming out of a single player right now.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw him being able to get that first knock on Vitality. I ended up jumping off my seat, Max, because that was such a good opening, and it was actually the decision making, as you were just mentioning, Lace. The decision making from this squad is something that we keep kind of questioning, but they were able to just send it right away to Vitality without even thinking about it. They were like, one knock, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good decision making overall. We're just trading mics all over the place. But no, it's lovely to see that IQ gets that opening knock with an insanely accurate burst spray. Right, that was just a beautiful execution, and the team is like, well, we have the man advantage. Might as well send it and actually get that engagement. So yeah, IQ's just been spectacular, not just in terms of the eliminations he's able to get. We're just trading stuff right now still. But also in the terms of the opportunities he is able to create for the entirety of his team. And when an opportunity has been made, man, they just fully send it.
They do fully send it. Let's take a look, actually. I want to see Fourth Thrive stats so far, because this team is one that has been picking it up so far today. They've been getting those eliminations. I want to see a little bit more placement points out of this squad, especially for this last match. IQ, it's not just Falak too, Blank, because that's one thing that we always talk about Fourth Thrives. Falak, who Saifa has been able to step it up to when we ended up thinking about PMGO. T24 is that player that just really hasn't been performing that well. I'm hoping hoping is going to start picking it up.
I mean, T24 has always been a really good player, right, overall, which has been nice to see. But you're right, Huzaifa putting a lot of work here. IQ, you were talking about clutch ability with the macro play as well on side. I mean, he's making some good calls right now. I think for this game, getting deeper and deeper into these matches is a really, really important thing for Four Thrives. There was a lot of love from the crowd there as well, which was great to see. Also, can I just say, why have you got a heavier mic than to all of us? Your mic, like,
here, let's switch it.
What, you want yours back? King Mike.
So I can talk to Tomasz.
This one's like less. Ooh.
Better.
Yeah, this one's lights, light on my feet, on the desk. You can call this a desk, it's more of a couch. But yeah, overall, I think I completely agree with you. Macro-wise, looking great. I do just want to kind of bring it back to Tiamba right now. They did drop in.
Max, don't leave me hanging. Come on.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
please go on.
Let's chat about Tiamba, right? We had a lot to talk about them today, didn't we, Lace? They've dropped in a new sub now in Shallow. Milu's out for the time being. I think that the team definitely slowed down. Slowed down in a big way. It is hurting them a lot. We're not seeing those snap decisions anymore.
Yeah, it's not even like that they're trying to do something a little bit different. It's now just their strategy is not working for it's insane to see. They're still making the same strategies, the rotates, but when going into a fight now, they seem to be losing it, which they're playing their same game, but it's not working out for them. So I'm seeing I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Me too. And one team that's been picking it up, especially here in the last couple of games too, has been OG. OG has been able to step it up. We saw them finishing the top 4 situation right there. And they've been seeing, we even saw them in Rondo being able to get eliminations too, switching it up a little bit more, using the Rondo, since they're able to revive people, trying to be more aggressive, Max.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see the aggression we witnessed from them back in their respective group, right? It kind of fizzled out. They've been more passive from time to time. But no, here actually a really good 2-2 split, maintaining that high ground position up north and sending 2 players down. I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the end, pushing that compound is incredibly rough onto Ida as we check out all of the winning teams of today. But I do want to highlight here before we do wrap up this desk, man, Ida finally gave up the drop onto Nigma Galaxy. Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
It's good, right? Getting a second place off the back of that is cool. I was almost expecting them to clutch up there versus S2G because that is very typical Ida, is just to get all the way to an end game and then just have a really silly win at the end of it.
Yeah, Ida, sorry, I'm thinking about Fudia because I saw them being able to get that chicken dinner earlier in the day. But Ida, yes, I agree with both of you. I'm glad that they finally just stopped doing that hot drop and decided to change the mentality because they were in last place before they decided to make that change. One team that's currently not in last place and is wanting to challenge that first place is none other than Fudia, and I believe Kalara's got a chance to talk to them.
Hey guys, of course I am down here on the stage with Ayala as I have him after this great performance here throughout day number 2 of the finals. My first question here for Erengel is, sorry, Miramar even I should say, in the second Miramar. You guys had great space control to be able to eventually get yourself to that win. So talk to me about that late game and what threats you might face.
Queria perguntar como é que foi o jogo de Miramar para vocês, né? Ali no final, como é que vocês estavam se sentindo ali no late game? Qual foi a estratégia de vocês?
E aí, tudo bem? Esse jogo aí a gente começou perdendo o chifre, só que a gente não desistiu e continuou querendo. A gente jogou bem esse jogo mesmo estando em trio. Então a gente ganhou os morros, foi jogando juntos e a gente conseguiu ganhar a play.
So it was a very nice play. We managed to get it through with 3 players, so it was really important for us. We made the right decisions, and we could get it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the Rondo for a moment, because that was great as well. You guys eventually entered into the silos, the urban area and things like that, and I thought you were going to be in a lot of trouble, but you actually looked amazing in that execution. So what were your concerns on Rondo? Who were you kind of looking out for, and how did you execute that?
A partida de Rondo também foi muito boa, né? Vocês entraram ali no silo e ficaram por ali, parecia que ia dar ruim algumas horas, mas conseguiram sair muito bem. Quais eram as suas preocupações ali nessa queda e nessa partida? O que vocês estavam sentindo?
Nessa partida de Rondo, a gente começou bem, fazendo marquills no começo, depois fomos pegando marquills, só que a gente errou em algumas coisas no finalzinho que a gente depois da play conversou, então tomara que nas próximas plays a gente consiga ajeitar tudo para conseguir ganhar esse campeonato.
So it was a pretty nice match. We managed to gather some kills on the start and in the middle game, but by the end we did some mistakes, but after the game we talked, we solved those mistakes and we arrived better for the next ones.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ayala. That is it for us here down on the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, and thank you, Ayala, as well, for that great answer. And yeah, for this team, I mean, they started off hot today. This last match, though, ended up being a big old donut. I think they'll be able to bounce back.
Ayala, you may have your driver's license back. I will bestow it upon you once more, because now the decisions to use the vehicle are working for you and not just going in there and seeing what sticks. But no, look, the elimination consistency from Furia is, you know, we always speak about it. They are a sort of an aggressive dominant team. But now, you heard it from them. They're taking it there. They are moving a little bit further in placement points, which is exciting to see, especially on the map where they they got their chicken dinner and the way that they were able to just wait. Sometimes they just get a little bit too happy, aggressive, and they're like, you know what, we're going to create our own play. However, the patience that they are showing now, especially Max, it's just working for them, and it's a great Furia look.
It really is. I mean, I kind of want to go a little bit deeper almost on Furia in the sense that I was expecting Silence and Ayala to put up big numbers, which they still are on occasion, but I feel like Higot has really risen up the ranks in this tournament. He's gotten so many great plays. Sometimes where players will give him a lot of 1v1s, and you don't want to do that to Higot because you will get those eliminations if you give them that slightest opportunity to fight back. But yeah, Higot is looking great. So literally the entirety of Furia has that potential to be in the top 10 players in this event.
But you got to remember, Igor, too, is a player that has won MVP in the past for Americas, too, when he ended up being in previous teams before joining Furia, right? So we know that he can definitely put up those points. We just want to see Silence even more. Silence, what's your pick for MVP? But let's take a look at the overall so we can see where some of these squads are currently sitting at, because I would love to see where Furia is currently at, with E-Arena still being in first place, the gap being there about 18 points from Ulf Esports.
Well, I mean, for Ayala and Chief as well, like back in Liquid days, I think for, honestly, those boys, the big thing about their team play was that they locked down endgames massively. They massively locked down endgames. We're not quite getting there yet. We are slowing things down, like you say, Lace, which is a very, very good thing to get those placement points on board. But I think that as soon as we start seeing Fury in those endgames, we're looking really good. Nick McGalaxy's still up there. Ulf looking fantastic. I mean, it's more consistent than anything. They haven't really been a big driver in these matches, but sitting at 67 points right now, I think they can push that a little bit further. But Aurora slowly slipping down these rankings.
But I'm kind of just feeling like they're just grazing by.
I mean, Aurora, actually, if you compare it, the placement points to the teams above them, they all got wins, right? 1 win, 2 wins. So actually, the placement points are not bad. It's just really the eliminations they're missing out on. Second page, though, teams
which
still,
is wild.
Yeah, starting to still linger down here. But keep in mind, Ida started the day with 2 points. Now they got 25. They're not in the bottom rank anymore.
Stop hyping them up. They've had one good game.
I got to praise them. They didn't hot drop. Okay, so I don't want them to go back to it. Good job, Ida. Yeah, keep it up, yeah.
It's like a kindergarten right now.
Keep that fighting.
Good job. You used blue instead of red there.
You get a gold star.
Done.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see more Ida. I think Emre's a great player, but we have to be honest. We do have to be honest here about it, where it's not looking great. I'd like to see them push that a little bit further now going forward. But yeah, I do think they're a good team. I think they're a good team. It's just I want to see more out of them. And until then, I'm not going to be praising them for not hot dropping 3 times in a row.
I will. I'm still happy. So
I know you're a lovely guy compared to me.
Hey. By the way, I want to say I'm a little bit scared for Ulf because they're in second place. They got the second place curse. They're Suk 2.0, right? PMGC last year. PMGO Season 1, they got second place, right, just behind the likes of Fourth Rise and just above Furia. Second place and Ulf is not a great storyline. They're not friends, but they're still up there.
What was that about the nice guy thing? No. Look, I also, obviously on that second page, just want to touch on Godlike. Their close range battles, amazing. But unfortunately, they're sort of hanging around that engagement too long. And these are sort of in the mid to late games where obviously smaller circle, more teams, third parties are happening. So they're not sort of leaving this engagement fast enough and making that decision to put themselves in a nice spot. However, yeah, their fights, close range, mid range, in buildings has been so good to watch. And whether it be the whole team or just 2 of them, they do have that firepower and strength and they're holding on really well. So I do hope that, you know, after this engagement, they can move a little further in with their placement and just get those top 5s.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It is a great point there. Close range combat is really, really good. I think so far in the finals, S-Power has made the best play to date. Yes. His Longhouse fight was just, he was a weapon in that moment, or a deadly one at that. I mean, the Molotov through the door, I think the impressive thing about that, it doesn't look amazing in the moment, but the amount of times teams will just bank that Molotov off the doorway and it will just burn yourself out. He ends up finishing Vitality with that Molotov, so it's like a lot of presence of mind in those moments, which is great. But coming back to your